Gotta wait. Gotta wait. Morning.
Good morning.
Oh yeah, GG might come down at retest.
Yeah, this is the issue here now. It's created support. Oh, it did come down and correct this move. Okay. So this area it tapped. This was a market open, weekly open. This was also support yesterday twice. And now prices come back here again. So this is where a decision has to be made, whether you wait for price to break up and continue up in this high traffic area, or you wait to see what happens in this area to decide whether we're going to go back down and this move up was maybe a fake out. If this move up was a fake out, man, during New York session, we could see a nice drop back down. The quality is amazing. Thank you. Oh yes, we're streaming in 1080p.
Yeah, if it goes down, I see it going to 140 flat.
Yeah, exactly. Because this was an impulse move. I mean, if you look at the 5-minute candle, like, what the fuck is this? It was an impulse. 22 pip 5-minute candle.
So retarded.
Yeah. So now price is in the middle. Right here, right? So if you take a buy, you have a 50-50 chance price is going to go up, which is a resistance because it was a support. And there's a 50-50 chance price is going to go down, which was a resistance here. You know, so the best thing to do is to see if price is going to come back in this range so that you can say this move up was a fake out and we can, you know, hippity scotch and go down. Or wait for price to come up this area and then you can say, okay, yeah, well, there's clean traffic here to the left, so we should continue up to this area. Gold is trying to creep up here slowly. I mean, if it passes through 1488, we're going back up to 1492, 1491. I mean, at least to 1490. What do you use for sources of news? I've noticed some calendars show. I don't know. I just use Forex Factory. That's it. Nothing major. I'm a 100% technical trader. I
gotta clear my charts now again. Fuck.
Ooh, I got 15 pips on GJ.
Oh, you're still in it?
No, I closed.
Oh.
I was just counting.
Rakeel, would you say if that could that be a possible retest there that we could be looking for?
Yeah, but again, the thing is, if this is a retest, then this is the resistance right here, 140,
Yeah,
700.
yeah.
You know,
So the range is just too small.
I mean, there is range. There is like you potentially have a 15 pip range, right? So I mean, taking buys from here would be then like what time frame are you gonna look for confirmations on? That's the thing.
Got it.
5 minute, maybe the 5 minute. Because if this candle pattern or the way candles are forming, if this was on the 15 minute, I'd wait for a candle to close bullish and then, you know, take a buy back up to the high it made.
Hey, Rakeel, what's going on, man?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Good.
My man, long time no see.
Yeah, man, long time no see.
Oh, how are your shoulders?
Oh, man, feel good, man.
Nice.
Look like a retest to me.
Yeah, it does off this area right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you can say if this was the low 15-minute candle made, which is like 7 pips, then your target is almost like 10, 11 pips. That wick fill. I just felt some people taking buys. Does trading do not accept client from IC markets? Nope. Oh, someone in full margin.
Oh no.
You do top-down analysis. Yeah. Let's do top-down analysis on gold. Very easy. You're looking at the daily. You have daily resistance right here. You look at where's the support. You have support down over here. Then you go to the 4 hour. You adjust the zones on the 4 hour. And then you see 4 hour created a support over here yesterday during pre-London in New York, early New York, and then later on New York it broke it. Formed a support down here. So we neaten up this zone. Okay, then go to the 1 hour, and now we have some more information. Now the reason why 1 hour is ranging here, right over here, is because of this area to the left. You know, so now you need a break out of this box, this square where gold is in. Because if gold breaks below, it's heading down to maybe like, you know, this area right over here. But if gold breaks up, then it's heading back to 1492, at least to 1490 and 1491. So gold is ranging right now. But on the daily, if you're a swing trader and you look at gold on like the higher time frames, there's nothing to trade on. There's nothing to trade gold on the higher time frame. Look, this it's just ranging. So, you're a swing trader. You're looking for trades on gold. Just on the daily, just don't look at it. Would you please share what broker you? I don't use a broker on TradingView, man. That's an irrelevant question. Gold. Create support in 30 minutes to retest the high, but 1 hour candle bearish. Which one would you trust? I would trust the higher time frame candle. That'll be the 1 hour candle. Because look, if this 30 minute closes bullish, then you can say, okay, yeah, perfect, there's a chance for it to go up. But it's going, I mean, it's ranging so far. What I'm looking at it is, in a way, is that if this 30-minute candle closes bearish, there's a higher chance gold's going to come down. Because it's reaching this area here. So based on that fact, I would say gold will come down. I mean, just looking at the 1 hour, if you see where 1 hour candles are reversing, whenever you see 1 hour candles are above reverse, always ask yourself why. Why are you guys reversing? And then the second step is to look left. You look left and you see, oh, okay, yesterday during, what time is this? See the time at the bottom? At London Open, candles reversed. So maybe it's an important price here, 1488.50. Because the 1 hour candles are reversing here too. You know, but look, from here when they reversed, they went all the way up to 1495. You know, so if you get confirmations of sells here, then you can say, okay, perfect. We're going to go back down and correct this move up. But if price breaks above 1488, then you can say, oh, okay, well, now we've broken back above this area, which was respected yesterday. And then you can say, okay, now we can go back up because there's a clean candle that went down yesterday. Right, so got these two scenarios now.
Good morning, Raja.
Hey, good morning, Alex Abelos.
How are you?
Good, bro. How are you?
Good. I'm just wondering why you see GJ bullish and not bearish, because I see that it broke under a pretty strong support that was an old resistance.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, basically, my idea is that this move up, I think it was an impulse move, right? I mean, and it just depends where these candles go. I mean, if this 30-minute candle respects 140.500, then, like, you know, it might come back up to 140.700 to retest the high. But if this candle closes back below 140.500, then this move up would have been an impulse move, and then we can continue moving down, just like
Right.
your bias for sells.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. But like for sells, like, you need that confirmation that, okay, it was a fake out, so it just now makes sense for it to go down. Especially when you look on the 4 hour, you're absolutely right. Like, it broke this support overnight, and now it seems like it's just retesting it to continue moving down. Yeah. No, New York opens at 14th. Do you anticipate sessions moves more in the moment? Yes. Is he a full-time trader? No, I'm part-time trader. Trade part-time. Trade part-time to make full-time income. Uh-oh. That's not good. Be cautious on GBP. Oh, Brexit deal again. Boris finally gets to put his Brexit deal to the vote. Alright. I'm pretty sure he did this like 4 or 5 times. Theresa May did that too. But they kept getting rejected. No, Boris, go back and do your homework again, mate. And Boris will go back and do his homework again. Oh, someone sent a chart. Oh, yeah, I saw this chart. Nice, looks nice. What else do you want me to say? Wait. Looks good. If a chart looks good, I just stay quiet. I acknowledge it. But if it looks bad, then you're gonna hear someone getting roasted because the chart looks bad. GJ. Got in on this candle, but it went. How can I improve? Oh, you can't improve because the idea was correct. Your idea was right. You had the correct idea. That the candle broke down. This candle moved up to do a retest. This candle closed bearish, so you took a sell. And the probability was the candles for moving up. You just gotta accept that it was a part of the probability. Nothing else you could do. I would have taken the same sell if I was awake. So now this setup works more times than it fails. That's something now you have to understand. That it works more time than it fails. So if you take the same setup 10 times, what are the odds of it working? The odds of it working are way more than it not working. You know, but then you also gotta accept that okay, there are times it's not gonna work. That happened to me last week. I took the same buy on GJ and just failed. It didn't work at all. I'm like, oh, okay. But at least I knew I followed my plan. I waited for the setup. I took the trade and it wasn't a loss. And then I looked at my notes and my notes said, well, there's a 20 to 30% chance it will not work. So I just accepted that.
I think I also went to a lower time frame on the 50 minutes, and then there I saw the same candle, but there was no wick on the bottom. Is that also maybe?
Yeah, let's take a look. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Now it makes much more sense. Looking at the 15-minute. Because this had no wick. And then this kind of closed bullish with no body. I mean, nothing. So I would have closed my trade here.
Okay.
But then I would have looked at this area here to the left. And then I would have said, yeah, maybe this move down is a fake out. Yeah, now we see this.
You're also on the 15 minutes. You know, more fake outs in a smaller time frame.
Yeah, oh no, we were just looking at to see how this trade didn't work out on the 30-minute time frame.
Okay. Oh, it is a fake out because they closed back up.
Yeah, exactly. So we're initially looking at this area right here. When you didn't have information, take a look at this. When you didn't have this information right here. Right, so just by looking at this candle, you're like, okay, this is like a retest. This is like a retest to go down based on this.
But you would have got that looks like a stop hunt because look how the candle closed. It closed right above your stop loss right there. You'd have placed your stop right in that area, so that looks like even a stop hunt.
No, I'm talking about entering after this candle closed bearish.
Oh, okay.
And then and anticipating like the next one to go down. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like this.
Because I even went. Exactly. I looked even more down, like what was the next level to it would maybe go down, and I thought if it would break to the downside, I thought it would go to 140, 200.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess the probability wasn't there.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I guess watching the 15-minute would have helped a little bit.
Oh, here comes the wick.
Oh.
Good morning.
Good morning. Oh yeah, G just gonna go up, fill this wick.
Perfect.
How are we doing this morning, alright?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Good.
Oh, GJ.
Have you taken trades yet this morning, Roger?
I had a buy on GJ.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's gonna continue up to fill this wick now. It broke the previous 15-minute candle high.
And that was a retest right there.
Yeah. So Uncle Ted, yesterday you said market makers is a myth, so who stop hunts? There is no such thing as a stop hunt. I believe there's no such thing as a stop hunt. A stop hunt is an excuse for someone hitting their stop loss. That's all what it is. Like when gold was falling, breaking support, when it came down to this support, people saw this, they're like, okay, buy time because it reached support. It dropped and they said, oh, it's a stop hunt. Okay, what about people who are in sells? They're not saying the stop hunt, they're saying, oh, go gold, go.
It's problem. You always got to blame someone if you lose.
Yeah. Oh,
I never understood that idea of stop. Like it's just institutions moving the market because everybody has different risk appetites. So, and the larger institutions want better prices, so they just drive the price up knowing that it's going to drop. It has nothing to do with your stop. And if your stop gets hit, it's more than likely because it was just in a zone that price was moving to.
In the wrong place.
Yeah.
Morning, Ted.
Morning.
Ted, you don't think they know the everyone trades similar, so you don't think the institution knows, like, okay, they're gonna place their stops. Let's say for example, this level right here, they're gonna place their stops below this area. So the market's gonna drive down to this area and then push back up.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can say that with any area. Yeah. Right. So then, when does it stop? Like, why not look at instead of the 15-minute time frame? Why not look at like the daily time frame, or the monthly or the weekly? Like, it's just hard for me to understand because FX market is decentralized. If the FX market was centralized and this was like the only market, like the New York Stock Exchange, then I could say, yeah, stop hunts and manipulation, that's legitimate. But when things are decentralized, like say for example, you're trading with Barclays as an example. You're a trader and you're working with Barclays as your clearinghouse. They're taking in your orders. They're not looking to stop hunt you. All they're doing is they're pulling your orders and then matching them with somebody else. Excuse me. The fact that the market reacts or moves a certain direction, I think, like Raja said, it's a bit of an excuse for people to say, "Oh, my stop stop loss got hit." But if you look at where your stop loss gets hit on any given time frame, it's probably a price level that is probably a premium level. And the problem is, as retail traders, we just don't know which time frame they're using as a premium level or which price they're using as a premium level, right? It's easy to count it after the fact and say, oh yeah, they stopped me out because on the 4 hour that was a major support or major resistance and it was a zone. But when it's happening, you don't know, right? That I think that's the biggest problem that people face is they look at stop hunts and then they say, well, like that the market knew everybody was over there. And so, well, why not use the 1 minute time frame or the daily time frame, or like why is it always just the particular time frame you're working on? And I think just over the years on the internet, people have used that as an excuse to say, well, that's the reason why I lost. I mean, and if you look at every zone, I mean, I'm not saying that it's not the reason that the markets didn't move to that level. What I'm saying it's you can't use that as an excuse because it's just that's where price went to. They weren't looking for your order. Like that's the biggest thing is like they weren't looking for your order. And what if people are in sell, like for example, like GJ right now? What if people are in sells? So you're telling me they're stop hunting all these sells now? I mean, the whole market's been bullish for the last 3 weeks. So if you're selling, you're pretty much a turd.
Yep. When you look at the daily, it's pretty obvious.
Like that's the only thing that I worry about is that people, turn around and they talk about that. It's just more of like if you look at a specific level, you'll see that there was a reason why the market jumped to that direction.
Wow.
Yeah, GJ's moving.
GJ's
good today.
It's gonna keep moving. 14900.
Like we see on that wood selling that still.
Yeah, see now it's back above that area, 14700.
Get support on there again. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get this one to hold now, like we did yesterday. I'm going to try and hold it for a longer time. But
Yeah, I just closed one position on GJ.
It's going to continue moving here.
Yeah, this was your, if you go back to the 30-minute Raja, this was your key candle on the 30-minute for GJ, this right here.
Yep.
And then as soon as it bounced from this level here, it was an easy trade all the way up. And then more likely this was your target. And I still have my buy stop set at 141, 200.
yeah, so do I. I nearly took them off last night, but when I went to bed, but I thought, no, I'm going to leave them.
Yeah.
And I woke
That
up.
was DJ. That was a clean trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't get any easier than that.
I was a little bit late entry, but what was I? 45.
Yeah.
No.
GJ was nice there.
Yeah. Now, do you think we can hold from 40.5 dead and hold it?
I think, yeah, I think, you know what, like I'm looking at the daily structure. I mean,
yeah,
it does look like we could technically go bullish.
Yep. Well, Boris has got he's actually got his chance. I don't know if I haven't really been on that long, but he's got his vote back into the parliament. So Thursday they're going to be voting on it, and over the next 2 days they're going to be reading through it properly, so everyone understands it properly in the parliament. So, good chance that on Thursday we'll have a vote. So if that's bullshit.
So that'll be the catalyst then.
I would say so. Yeah, all going well.
Yeah. It's just tough because the weekly's stuck in that zone that we're in right now. So that weekly's in a nice zone. I think we have to break out of this. If we do break out, then we're up to 143 out on the weekly, but it's going to be difficult for it to break out of the 143 area.
It's interesting how it got that support back at the open. That's exactly on the open now. And then the other one yesterday was at where it closed Friday, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, I do believe that this is closing in 2-3 minutes. This should hold support here, and we should continue moving up.
Yeah, definitely like it to close above there. That'd be nice.
It just seems like the 141 level, the 100 level, is very, very tough to break.
Yep.
So if you're trading, like this is for today's trading, if we get to this level and you're in a trade from say over here, I would really evaluate once you get here to say, hey, maybe I need to close. Don't be a hero and try and hold through it because it can rip right back down again. So I just caution everybody, once you get to this, like if this is your target, this area here, really when you're coming close to that target or you hit that target, if it does get there, it will be very difficult to break through.
Yeah.
And
it's like you were saying about zones earlier, how you don't know, we know roughly, but you don't know exactly where they start, if you know what I mean. So you could bounce off it pretty quickly as soon as it gets near it. What's arrow?
Šta ti radi? It's a dog.
Why you box that top wick? Which one? This one? Oh, this is just to show that this is where the 30-minute candles were ranging before dropping. So I mean, if we're closing above 14700, you know, if a valid support is formed, when we start to move up, then this is the area where it's going to be the first stop. And it's also 141, which is a psychological level. 141. Do you hold trade even if it's going retracement, or do you close out and wait for retracement and then go in again? Yeah, that should be your that depends on your plan.
Morning.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
How are we doing?
Good, mate. In GJ buy, so pretty happy.
Yeah, me too.
Everybody's buying GJ.
Yeah, just a nice little push.
Where'd you get into that, Simon?
140.43.
Oh, good one. I've got 51. That's a good effort.
It was just, yeah, I had that zone marked up. It just rejected. It was rejecting it nice. So.
Yeah, nice, mate.
Look at that candle closing. Wow, such shit close.
I would like
Yeah, I wanted to. Once we break back into that zone above, like above 140, you know, up to 140.80, I think it should be good to continue up.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for.
Yeah. Was that the 1 hour close? Oh yeah.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get it to stay above that, really. So create support back on there again.
That's kind of what I was hoping for. It will close above, you know, even 140.700, and then
Yep.
I can take safe buys, but it closed right at that area.
Yeah, just got to wait a bit longer.
Yeah, that zone it just tapped into was the.
Friday, wasn't it? Friday closed that one, wasn't it?
It was like just tapped into this area.
Yeah.
Once we get past that, we're good.
Yeah, that's game.
But that's the yeah, that was your sales this morning. Once it broke through that.
Yeah, makes sense.
Is anybody looking at gold? Like it's been raging for I don't know last
Nah.
Yes.
Gold looks like shit.
few hours.
Raging.
Yeah, it looks like shit, but it could break because it's I don't know. It's ranging like 10 pips, 10 pip range.
I'm not really watching
Last 1, 2, 3, 4 hours. So it could push up one way.
I'm waiting for that range to break.
Yeah,
1477 or 1498 pretty much.
Yeah,
Look at all those wicks on those candles.
yeah.
Either side, like so many.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look at the weekly, there's like, we had a doji last week, we got exactly the same candle. This week, it's just not doing anything.
Yeah, it's not as easy as that.
I mean, it looks like it's doing a retest on the 4 hour now of like 1488.89, which is the support from this morning it broke out of. Yeah. Like what Rakeel's got up there. It looks like it's rejecting that to come down, but.
Let's see.
I just hope GJ is going to, you know, do 300 pips today, and I'm finally going to catch it.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, that will be. Sorry. I will be happy with 100 pips, not 300.
Let's take a look at the daily here.
Brexit votes are, I think, 6 hours from now, or am I right?
On Thursday, I think.
Oh, I think it,
There's some vote tonight, 7 p.m.
yeah, 7 p.m. Yeah.
It's on that's the amendment stuff, though, isn't it? I think.
Is it? I've lost track. It's like making my head hurt trying to keep up with all this.
Yeah.
I was getting like that yesterday, to be honest. After watching it live on the telly, I still was kind of like, I don't really get what they're voting on now.
Yeah, it's trying to follow, like, there's all these different laws and rules that they have to do something before they can put it to a vote. And like, it's
Well, they've published the agreement now, so everyone's actually got a proper copy. Because that's kind of one of the reasons why they wouldn't vote as well, some people, because they haven't seen it. They've just got to take his word for it. So they don't want to sign something they weren't keen, basically.
Okay.
So now they've published it, as far as I'm aware. So they all got it, and they're supposed to do a reading over the next 2 days. so they can all understand it properly, basically, and ask questions. But I think the vote was to do with an amendment that someone wanted to make. I'm not too sure.
What's this? Euro USD waiting for testing. Very nice. I think you'd be better off having a sell below this area over here. This is support, mate. I think a nicer sell would be below this area here, because then you got this wick right over here, and then a potential drop further down to this yellow zone you have. That's just my opinion. What are looking for GJ? Bearish question mark. I don't know. I don't know so far. No idea. GJ is chilling. I mean, the 4 hour looks like it's retesting this area. I mean, if the 4 hour closes below, then there's a high chance the next one can continue moving down. But if we get a close above 14700, even on the 30 minute, or I would say the 15 minute, then there's a higher chance for moving back up to 141. So we're at a crossroads here now.
Crossroads, mate.
Crossroads.
I think it will push one more time up. Like the same time it pushed up, retracement down there and push up again. I would love to see that.
Me too.
See that error? It's rejected.
Yeah, that's why. It's not pushing, and when it's pushing down, it's weak.
That was the correction of the whole move from yesterday.
Yeah, that's a Friday.
That's where the move in essence started, right?
Yeah.
So it's come down, tested that kind of sort of demand, the order block error, if you like, whatever you want to call it, and it's rejected it again. So it's rejected it down here. It should push higher. That's just how they get.
What happened?
Man, imagine people come on the stream and then they're like, buy or sell, buy or sell.
Sell.
Is it a buy or sell? Number one step is to just watch and wait and just chill. Yeah, exactly.
That's the hardest thing to do. To wait and sit and not get caught by FOMO or something.
Yeah. Like, I mean, when you look at the charts, you don't have to be in a position ASAP. Yeah. That's the whole thing. You don't have to be in a position ASAP. It takes time, and then waiting, and then planning. Like right now, I'm not even bothered about a position because I know I want it above 14700 and I want it below 14500.
Yep.
So I think the best thing would be to do is to have a buy stop at 147.20. Yeah.
147.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I have a sell stop at gold. 86.50. Okay, GJ is pushing. GJ buy stop activated if you had it. No, yeah. No, now it's activated.
Yeah, it did activate. It activated.
Let's see. But this first move.
Here we go, it's moving.
I'm gonna make
Come on, GJ, that's time now. Second half of the 15-minute count. Get up.
Oh, man. This sucks. But it will push up, yeah, but it's fucking people.
Is there any hope for a spaceship indicator? I don't think so. As your trade confirmation.
After this it will push, I think. That the last time it did. It pushed up, moved back down, and then boom, out.
Yeah, I think it was too early to activate that buy stop.
My buy stop is 760.
Oh, nice.
I'm targeting a fast 7 pips, and that's good. Let's go, Jay.
Ooh, look at gold dropping. Candles are making lower highs and lower lows and lower highs. Possible TP if price closes below. Yep, this is perfect. This is a nice planning here on gold. If it breaks below this area, then it should continue moving further down. That's good. How can I turn on captions? Oh, I can't turn on captions. Interesting.
I need to clean my table, but I can't move from the charts because I have buy stop and sell stop.
Oh.
In case of a quick move, why not?
Don't play with fire, Dimitri.
Yeah, Dimitri.
Hey, good morning, Raja.
Hey, good morning.
How are you, man?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad.
That's always good.
What are you guys trading, GJ?
Yeah, I had a buy stop on GJ, it got activated. It literally tapped it and came down.
Yeah, I just don't like how it's in this very tight range of like this mini support and resistance. Like, I don't know. But gold's dropping now. I mean, now I think he's starting. We can find the daily, the previous daily bearish close. So we'll see what happens with gold.
Ooh, gold is
I
dropping.
think we're gonna go there.
Gold should keep dropping. Come on, GJ. Oh.
He keeps trying.
Oh, back up again. Come on, GJ.
We've got closing side there.
The next 30-minute candle pushing.
Yeah.
think you might get that spike up, Raja.
No, yeah.
I think the 14900, and then that's it.
Yeah, the GG's.
I don't like how the 15-minute closed bearish, and if this current 5-minute goes below, let's say 146.50, I'm going to close my positions. Bring it up here, 630. Yeah, I'm going to change it to 630. Yeah, I got out of this. I don't like it. Don't like it one bit, mate.
Safe call if you're not keen, mate.
I think it just fucking us up, but it will.
Yeah, no, I mean the 15-minute, the previous one closed at 14700. I mean the bullish one, then the next one closed bearish below it at the same level. So that just decreased the chances in my mind for it to go up, because 14700 is a strong level here.
Yeah.
So that was a bad buy stop I had. I closed it. I mean, a 30-minute candle is about to close in 10 minutes. So
everything is possible, but yeah.
Yeah, so you know, I want to hold something that has some weight to it.
And sense.
Yeah, this one just did not have any weight. I mean, the 5-minute candle. Let me look at this. 5-minute candle rejected here, came up, came down, rejected. So I don't know. Like if it goes up after this, I'm not gonna be mad because there was no confirmation here to go up because candles are all bearish right now. Look at that, still fucking dropping.
Yeah, momentum slowed pretty quickly on that.
Yeah.
Got to that, spiked into that zone.
Yeah. Some people are very ignorant here in the YouTube chat. They're like, "Oh, I entered." No, it was a pending order. Man, people are just damn. But see, that was a good close. Even the 5-minute can't push up. Yeah, that's the thing. It couldn't push up. So I saw this. I'm like, okay, this could have been like a fake impulse move out and then back in because it started to create this resistance. So I just closed. I'm like, fuck it. I don't like it. Because if I was looking for sells, this would be my confirmation to sell. So I looked at it in that way. I'm like, yeah, my buys don't make sense. So the point is, rather than having a full stop loss hit, I saw confirmations of, okay, I should be closing early here with like a small loss rather than a full stop loss. Wow, look at that. See, so you can't, the thing about holding losses, you can't hold and hope. You know, like I know some people are holding buys in a drawdown just hoping, no, we feel like it's going to go up. We feel like it's going to go up. But when you look at it, it's going down. It's not going up. So whatever you feel like it's going to go up, well, then good luck. Trading is going to be a long, lonely, sad road for you. So you need to, yeah. If current candle closes bearish and below this level, then possible move down. Yes, I would say I'm actually looking at EJ in the same way, like a break below this area here.
I don't know, gold looks nice. Break down the recent support, made the retest up there, and it could continue down.
Ooh.
Look at the, I don't know, 15 minutes. You will see the retest and yeah.
Yeah, gold is bearish here. Look at that 5-minute candle did a little retest. Really? You're right. When you see things falling down, you start to map out levels. You're like, okay, maybe this is a level that can come down to. Because look at this wick over here. Look at this consolidation area. You know, and before price reaches this consolidation area, you have this clean candles that went up. So price, there's a high chance price to mirror. Oh, whoa! Gold pushed up. So anyway.
Speaking about cells and gold, just fucks you up.
God damn.
I'm trying to set up 2 laptops in one screen now, but on 1.5 table. And it's hard.
Yeah, screw this. I'm not even gonna talk about gold.
You have experience with setting up these screens.
Yeah, it's very easy.
Yeah, I know, but you need to fit in it. It's easy to connect it, but fit in, I don't know, on this small table.
On this small table?
On my small table.
Yeah.
Not yours, not yours. You have too big one.
Yeah, you said on this small table as if I can see your small table.
I don't know, I can send you a picture, but...
Break the zero.
Okay. Simon, you still holding? You still there?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still holding mine.
Yeah, I was close to getting tapped out then, to be fair, but it's just bounced right off. It literally got a pip, so...
My stop loss is at, I don't know what, 44 or something like that.
Oh, you got it right, yeah, because I was at 50, I was at 51.
right by my entry, pretty much.
Yep.
So it's break even or
Yeah, bust. Yeah, that's it. Break even or big dollar.
Why do you not trade your USD? Because I haven't won a trade on your USD, so I don't trade your USD. I really haven't won a trade on your USD.
And it is the most manipulated pair. So.
Illuminati confirmed.
Illuminati confirmed.
Wicks don't lie.
Wicks don't lie.
No, I'm gonna send you now set up. But I need to open the stream, the Zoom, and the MetaTrader.
$30-minute candle is about to close. Rejecting. You know what I'm thinking? If it's rejecting that area, 14700, then there's a higher chance for it to come down back below in this range. Kind of bounce. And then drop down to this area. For it to go up, it really needs to break above 14700 and then go up to this area here.
Yeah, I agree.
Which is going to fulfill the daily bullish prophecies. Because if you look at the daily candle right now, wait a minute, let's take a look at the daily candle. If you look on the daily candle, this 14700 area around is the area where the daily candle is going to flip bullish. So price needs to go above this area for the daily candle to continue bullish. If price can't break above 14700, then daily candle is not going to go bullish. So I think, yeah, it's not going to go bullish until price doesn't break above 14700. So 14750 could be another buy stop, you know, give it a second chance. That if it by some miracle it goes up, you catch it. But just looking at the candles, if they come closing back below 14500, then there's a high chance it's going to continue moving down, and that makes sense based on the 4 hour as well, that tapped into this support, which was also market open price on Sunday.
I've sent you the picture on Instagram, so you have time.
On Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a rumor that Instagram is going to now charge you for posting pictures.
Yeah. I think that's just a rumor. It doesn't have sense. They will fail a lot.
GJ's.
Yeah.
Whoa! I thought you were kidding.
It was retesting the lower
Yeah. And now, Raja, you said it's bearish. Look at this wick. It will go up.
Let's see how this 30-minute candle close.
Yeah.
That area.
But I think...
I should be able to push at the end of the half hour.
Yeah. It's not breaking this recent support, 50-50. 500. take a better picture for you.
Okay, what's this? Someone sent a chart. Liquidity grab to break support hard. Strong bullish candle. Strong bullish candle with wick to fill. Second one closed below support, so took sell. Next 15-minute candle open. I don't know what's going on. To liquidity grab to break support hard. Well, the next candle closed bullish. So if the next candle closed bullish, then you should have been out of the trade.
Morning, coach.
Hey, good morning.
What's up, dude?
Oh, yeah. What's up, guys? 8:30 CAD news.
Yes. Oh, what's this? Easy buys on GJ. Look at 15-minute. Well, Knock, if you look on the 15-minute is respecting a resistance, which was a support. And on the 15-minute, candles are bearish. So how do you see easy buys?
Yeah, that's quite a rejection on that.
How the fuck do you see easy buys? I mean, how do you expect to be profitable when you, like, say dumb shit like that? I mean, it's at a resistance, which was support.
Hell, strong support.
God damn, man.
There's definitely no easy buys.
Yeah, don't you understand that 14700 is a strong level here? Look at this rejections at this price. Look at this. Market opened at this same price here, came up, respected it, came down, and now it's trying to respect it again. So, I don't know. Easy buys, I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. Someone said getting roasted Bill's character. I mean, if there's a news event and GJ goes up, you can't turn around and say, hey, look, I said easy buys, because it was news. There was no confirmation to go up. If you look on the 4 hour, 4 hour is bearish. It's gonna, well, it's bullish, but it's gonna close in an hour and a half. 1 hour, you look at it, it's bearish. 30-minute is bearish. 15-minute is bearish. I mean, I don't know. I think I'm losing most of my hair by just these stupid comments.
That's because you're getting old, dude.
Every time I come to the charts and look in GJ, before I'm looking at charts, I'll just search Brexit news in Google, just to see what I can expect.
You will have a lot to read.
Yeah, yeah, and nothing. You can't understand anything because they're starting the same thing. They will delay. They won't delay. They will delay. They are thinking about it. Someone said this. Someone said this.
Yep. No, nothing concrete yet.
Yeah, but I think as much as I get it, today's votes could be beneficial for, I don't know, comfort, or, I don't know.
Alright, CAD JPY sell. Makes sense. I think you should look at this area as a potential target 1. And this area as like your super target. This area as your super duper target. Core retail sales, expecting good numbers. Expecting 139,800 by end of today. 139,800. 139. Yeah, I mean, if it goes bearish, it's possible. Actually, 140 is possible if it goes bearish. If it rejects that area on the 4 hour and then, you know, fill this wick down here at 140,200 and then all the way down to 140 even till London close, possibly. Let's see. So you know, you have easy trades. You just have to wait for this candle to potentially break above 14700 or to break below 14500. That's all you gotta do. And look, someone also wrote potential buy stops at 147.50.
My buy stop still is at
Because if it breaks above, I'd say 147.50, then it's going to 148.50, fill the wick, and then further up. The buys were this morning, yeah. So right now it's just like kind of like ranging to move again.
same like yesterday.
Yeah, if
Moved
you
up, everything moved. Yeah, you can say. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, if you missed it, just stay out like me. I missed it, so yeah, I missed the trade on G.
So last week, Monday and Tuesday was the same moves. Today, this week is the same. Yesterday it moved up in London. Today it moved up in London. We'll see.
Oh, USD CAD is moving up here. Interesting. Will it continue moving up here? We should.
Pretty big move.
Yeah, the CAD news in an hour. Mr. Amit overseas. God damn, this stream has 1080p streaming quality today. So clear.
Serious stuff.
Yeah, some serious stuff going on.
It'd be a shame if you have, I don't know, 360 or 240p and earning some that kind of money, and I don't know, be professional trader with a 240p
Yeah.
quality.
See, EJ candle closed bearish, but it closed with no wick, so that kind of worries me if you're looking for sells. Potentially 7 pips stop for 10 pip gain.
Somebody drives a Honda.
Finish bitch up on my grandma. Cash. No, your ass gonna be bad, bro.
1, 2, 3, 4.
See, now this is where you look at GJ, you're like, okay, we are ranging.
Raja, did you see the picture on Instagram?
No, I didn't. I'll look at it right now.
Oh, thanks.
Was this
It could be a nice setup. Yeah, it could be a nice setup if I connect the TV.
Oh yeah.
4 screens, so.
Yeah, it could be a nice setup.
But I need one more HDMI and HDMI. Gold could break now.
What is the significance with it closing with no wick? When candles close with no wick, that generally means there's no range for the next candle to fill. Basically, it means that it can't really, like, you know, continue in that direction. Damien gold sells. Oh, nice. My first chart that I'm sharing. This looks nice. 30 minutes. Yeah, good trade. Coming down to 30-minute wick. Also, you know, this resistance here to the left and rejection here to the left. So if I was here, I would have put my stops at break even. But seems like it could push further down to like 1485, 1485.50. 5 more pips. 10 even. Yeah, that would make much more sense.
Gold is dropping.
Dropping. Yeah, gold dropped.
Damien got a nice trade.
Yeah, I'm in gold shorts. 1487.55.
Yo, good work.
Gold dropped 5 pips 1 minute now.
Yeah, I'm targeting 1485 even.
Now watch your retest at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, it could be a nice target if it doesn't reject the zone.
We'll see.
Yeah. But this
Is that like a little bit of a resistance or support area right now?
Yeah.
If you look on the hourly chart, so could have some problems in this area.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I've lined up here too.
Yeah.
Maybe
if
bring it
price
down
action
here.
doesn't form properly, then I'm just gonna close it.
Yeah. This 30-minute, how big was this candle? Oh, this was nice. 10 pips. Wow. I'm new to this. Is it possible to pursue this as a career? Yes, but it requires a lot of discipline.
Yeah, a lot of effort.
Lots, and it takes a lot of time.
Yup.
Frustration.
Patience.
Frustration, yeah.
Money.
Like the first month is you missing moves and being stopped out and then price moving in your direction. That's your first 2-3 months.
Yep.
And if you can pass those 2-3 months, okay, not, you know, fucking up, then you're going to be good.
Ted's got a new button in the chat. Ted, is that set on auto?
No, people just, they don't want to listen, so that's all I'm going to keep doing. It's basically online waterboarding, I guess.
Yeah.
What is that?
Online waterboarding. Eventually people will figure it out.
If you looked at it, it's just kept going, what's going on? Yeah.
You turn around and you're getting timed out. This is ignorance. Like, it specifically says, don't say look at this or look at that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, same every day.
I see price gravitation towards it.
You guys watching gold?
No, I'm on GGA. I haven't really touched gold this week, to be honest, yet. I've watched it since Friday, but it kind of just, for me, it didn't really give me any eye-openers. Apart from that one yesterday. But I missed that.
If buys get activated at 147.50, spend to catch. Ooh, 20 pips. Damn, this will be nice.
I hope it's coming.
Catching 20 pips from 147.50.
Push towards 8 o'clock.
Yeah?
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised.
Oh.
It's moved far enough away from ASL now, so that's a little bit more comfy.
I'm waiting for this 30 minutes to close, see how it will close. And then.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, if you didn't get in earlier, then definitely for sure. You want to wait.
See that EJ candle close with no wick? This has, I mean, 50-50 chances. I'd say these candles that close with no wicks have 50-50 chances. Raja, can you look at this and look at that real quick for me? Thanks, buddy. Oh, I didn't get anything. Yeah, I didn't get
sarcasm.
Oh. Icon being sarcastic. GBP and ZD, bearish or bullish? Okay, options. Put user in timeout. Oh, GBP and ZD. I know someone who's been trading GBP and ZD.
Or is it the same people that are doing like
GJ is turning into a shit show.
Yeah, big time.
I just closed my last position.
Did you? I was tempted. I don't know.
It seems like it's gonna range in that box, and I don't want to be caught in that again.
Yeah, it's kind of lost its momentum up there for sure after that big wick.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that's, you know, if this will push up, but I mean, if it does, I think it just might spike to 700, and then that's it. So I'm just like, whatever. I took 10 pips earlier on the first push up.
Yep.
Now I think it's ranging, so I'm gonna sit out for a bit.
Yeah, fair point. Yeah. Yeah, I thought once we started moving past that zone, that'd end up being used as a support.
Well, I had my stop like right over here, knowing that GJ does stupidness.
Yep.
And then I said, okay, if we hold support here, we should do something like this, because what I was thinking is the orders over here have to go somewhere. But if they just dropped off over here, then basically what ends up happening is this becomes your supply, and then this is basically your demand, and then we're just gonna what ends up gonna happen is we're just gonna bounce up from here down to here, and then we're just gonna do that. So I just don't want to get caught in that. That's all.
Yeah, it's like the end of the continuation. That is. I mean, like we said earlier, but Simon got in really well. I think it was 40 something.
Yeah, I mean, if you got in down over here, I mean, it made sense. Like, you could catch that support, because basically what was happening, I mean, if you think about this section over here as this section over here, the opposite is happening over here. So essentially, this was your last grab right here. This was your last grab right here. And then what ends up happening is these little taps here are the ones that are pushing out of that zone. The problem is, are we continuing up this way, or are we still going to range for a bit before we move that way? That's the biggest issue, and I can't tell. And Raj is right. You're probably safer looking at buys above this area, or at that point, or like I have my buy stop over here, expecting to go further up. Like, it's just very difficult to figure out.
Have you seen that a lot before, where it kind of ranges in the gap?
Yeah, I mean, it's just because we know that there's high impact news coming up with the vote and all the information.
Yeah, that's it.
close my gold sells.
Nice one.
No, that's what you go. That's mad.
Yeah, I closed it at 1486.36. I just didn't like how it was rejecting 1486, and look at this push.
Yeah, that's mad. That's what you got out there, well, man.
Wow. But you know what? Like, I've been watching the pre-market data, and the equities have been gaining some strength. So
yeah,
we'll get another chance if it's still gonna go. If not, whatever.
Exactly. Doesn't matter.
I think if we break above 1489, though, like we have really clean movement up to like 1492, 1492.50 on gold. So it'll be pretty interesting to watch that.
Yeah.
When you say pre-market data, are you talking about futures?
Yeah, like the futures data.
Do you have to pay for that, for the future data, or is it free?
No, I'll put the link in the chat.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just if you Google U.S. equities pre-market data, you can get a link for it. But I just put it in the chat if you want to check
Why
it
don't
out.
you just go to CNCMD?
Yeah, that's the link I put in the chat.
Oh wow, gold full reversal here.
Yeah.
What's this? Gold, 15 minute. Down, up, down. What is this? Oh, this chart is old. It's from the past. Can you explain about wick direction? For example, there's a bullish candle with no wick on the top. What happens next? I honestly don't know what happens next, but if there's a bullish candle with no wick on the top, this potentially means there's no range for the next candle to go up. So there's a higher chances for the next candle to, you know, reverse, but it depends on a lot of situations. It depends on what time of the market you're in, depends on if it's a 4-hour candle to 15-minute candle, depends on if the 4-hour candle is about to close, if it's about to open, if there's any news soon. It depends on a lot of those factors, but looking at EJ right now, it just closed with no wick at the bottom at support, so this mostly meant that next candle is going to go opposite. So, I mean, when I see a candle with no wick formed on the 30-minute and higher, I stay away from it. Because to me, that means there's a 50-50 chance for price to either go down or go up.
Yeah, definitely the higher the time frame, the more important that seems to be.
Yeah.
So if that were the case, wouldn't that be the strategy to put like a buy order in this particular case? If you want to be aggressive.
Well, yeah, but there's a 50-50 chance, so I wouldn't recommend doing. I mean, I just don't know anything, so I can't advise on that. That's totally up to you.
Oh no, that's fun. I just just inquiring about that because I mean, I remember you mentioned that if there is no wick at the bottom for bullish short of support, it's most likely gonna go up. But if you're saying it's a 50-50 chance, then I understand like the implications with that. So
yeah,
makes sense.
This music. Any thoughts on CAD retail news? Yeah, I don't know. My thoughts were it might come up to 1.31180. but I mean it's news, so who knows? They're expecting good retail data, so let's see. Like the U.S. retail data was bad last month, so I'm not sure about Canada, but I mean it should be good. They're expecting good numbers.
I just had a look at that, like US CAD, and look, I'm seeing a bullish candle on the 4-hour chart. I think it's maybe setting up for it to go down. No, wait. Yeah, even though it's in a downtrend, so on the 4-hour.
Yeah.
What time is news?
8:30, I think he said.
Yep, 30 minutes.
Oh, okay, 30 minutes. Right.
What trades do you have going at the moment? No trades going on at the moment, mate.
US are.
Ooh, the vote is in 6 hours. So there's a potential for a pound to just range here. Oh, yeah. Damn, we're coming back down. If it breaks down, next hour can just continue bearish and break those area. Interesting. This move up could be a fake out if it's closing below 140, 14500. So it could come down to 14400. So if you have a trade running at 14500, could be in a good spot provided candle's about to close. From here we can go down 10 more pips.
Stop me out, break even.
Oh.
Yeah, same as that, bro. I was thinking the same, and I was like, I have to take closed out. I've already took a little bit, so I was like, I'll leave it to go.
Still don't like sales. You sell now, you're selling straight in the support. It looks like shit.
Yeah, that's dangerous, I think, currently.
You watch, you could rip all the way back up from here.
Or drop all the way down and break this.
If I had a lot of confidence, that would be not a bad buy area myself. But
yeah, take it. You can just...
But I ain't wasting my trades today.
Wasted your bullets.
Yeah, I ain't wasted them today. I've got one at break even, that's it. Well, I've claimed 8 pips, I think.
It bounces up 140, 400, I bet you.
Drops, breaks it. The 4-hour candle is could just drop. This move up.
Yeah, when you look at the 4 hours, a little bit.
This was a fake out. This move up.
Someone said it's a good support.
This move was a fake out. Came back below this area. Next one could do a little retest. And boom! Down and fill this wick.
Yeah, that's pretty in line with what Ted was saying earlier.
Because it tried to go above 14700. Couldn't go above it. Now it's coming back down to this area.
For those that are sleeping, that's a signal. I guarantee you're gonna get questions about that too. Oh, where do we sell?
Yeah, where do we enter?
Bulls of GJ start in 143.20. 143.20.
Is this your 8 o'clock candle now?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, man.
Right now.
I'm writing it down because I do this every day.
Yeah.
I need an clock. Actually, that makes sense.
This is the 8 a.m. candle.
That's like 1 p.m. here.
Oh, is it 1 p.m. right now?
Yeah, man. Yeah. So it's just after food time. That's it.
This music always makes price move. Can anybody give me the opinions on this candle? These opinions on this candle tell me that we should at least come down to 143.50, even 143.80, like 5-6 more pips. Theoretically, this was resistance on the 30-minute. Now this candle has came back in this range. Oh shit, it's dropping.
Yeah, I think because the hour now, I think we're going to get that for sure.
Yeah, I also see on GJ, if you go to the hourly, we broke like the consolidation box. Then if we break these lows here, I would consider that like a retest of that box broken on the hourly.
Yeah, I just got out of GJ. I think buys on GJ died because, yeah, I'd say so. This was nice. This will continue moving. This, yeah, this was beautiful. Came down to 140,500. Took sells.
Nice.
Dropping. That was great planning. From early in the morning, it was great planning. Buys above this area and sells below this area here, 140,500. Again, you say fake out. Who is responsible for a fake out? Can't seem to contemplate how majority collective. See, the fake out, it's just the name, The point is, like, the idea is you're trying to understand how candles are moving through zones. You're trying to understand that. I mean, look at this, right? So this was resistance created on the 30-minute right here. Right, look at these candles. If the 30-minute candles are respecting this area as resistance, this is a strong, important area, which is 14500. You're like, okay, perfect. Then candle broke above this area, went bullish, and now you're like, okay, well, now if candle's going to go up, it should create a support at 14500 for it to continue moving up, right? But once candle goes below 14500, then that means that price couldn't maintain its move bullish, or price couldn't maintain its movement above 14500, so it came below 14500. This means that it tried to go up, but it couldn't go up. So if it can't go up, where else will it go? It's going to go down to the next support. So once price comes below 14500, where's the next support? It's at 140, what is this? 380. That's the next support. So when price comes down to next support and you're in sells, what do? You either close or you put stops at break even, because it's a support. You don't know if it's going to break. So it's just the understanding of how price is going to move through zones, what candles have done before, so on and so forth. Right? Once you truly understand how price is moving through zones, that's what I said earlier on, that I'm going to take buys if price breaks above this area. I had a early buy stop, so I got stopped out. That was a dumb buy stop. But then I fixed it to 147.50, or I'll take sells if price tries to goes below 14500, because taking a trade in this range was very risky, because we didn't know whether price is going to break up or whether price is going to break down.
Great explanation.
Yeah, thank you.
The only thing that you forgot to say turn around. That's it.
Yeah. When you turn around and say, whenever Ted says when you turn around, I imagine him turning around in his seat. So you turn around. I'll be right back.
Simon, what's your thoughts right
now? No thoughts.
You stay that is that you don't.
It's holding. It's not a buy or a sell for me. I mean, I'm still leaning towards buys, but
yeah, I'm still bullish myself, but I can't see it.
Higher time frames are not telling me to sell. I mean, the 4-hour candle, closed bearish, the last one. This one's still holding this level.
It was safe enough, isn't it? But I don't think we've got any, not right, range and stuff like that. It's silly.
Yeah, I need a bit more confirmation for buyers. It's just tapped into like, what, 140, 35, 38, whatever it is.
You've got to get some more momentum, I think.
Seems to be rejecting again, but yeah, I'd wait now.
That's it.
We need a few more bullish candles.
Definitely buy stop game at the minute, just in case. Yeah, I think that's done for now.
But you look at all the look at the 1 hour.
Yep.
It's all the last 1 hour closed at support. This new one's just come down, created a bit of a wick, and it's pushing to the upside. Like this, it hasn't broken that.
No, it's not.
No. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
See how these 15-minute, 20-minute candles form.
Yeah, my bad, I didn't ignore you, man. I had someone come to the door, drop off delivery.
fellow citizens. We observe today not a victory of party, but a celebration of freedom, symbolizing an end as well as a beginning, signifying renewal as well as change. For I have sworn before you and Almighty God the same solemn oath our forebears prescribed nearly a century and 3/4 ago. The world is denied. For man holds in his mortal hands the power to abolish all forms of human poverty and all forms of human life. And yet the same revolutionary beliefs for which our forebears fought are still an issue around the globe. The belief that the rights of man come not from the generosity of the state, but from the hand of God. We dare not forget today that we are the heirs of that first revolution. Let the word go forth from this time and place to friend and foe alike, that the torch has been passed to a new generation of Americans born in this country, tempted by war, disciplined by a hard and bitter peace, proud of our ancient heritage, and unwilling to witness or permit no undoing of those human rights to which this nation has always been committed, and to which we are committed today at home and around the world. Let every nation know, whether it wishes us well or ill, that we shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe, to assure the survival and the success of liberty. This much we pledge and more. To those old allies whose cultural and spiritual origins we share, we pledge the loyalty of faithful friends. United, there is little we cannot do in a host of cooperative ventures. Divided, there is little we can do. For we dare not meet a powerful challenge at odds and split asunder. To those new states whom we welcome to the ranks of the free, we pledge our word that one form of colonial control shall not have passed away, merely to be replaced by a far more iron tyranny. We shall not always expect to find them supporting our views, but we shall always hope to find them strongly supporting their own freedom.
So basically, oh, EJ went down. Nothing really happened so far with GJ. Can you tell a bit about how to deal with losses? I know it's a part of game, but how did you handle it at the beginning? Dealing with losses, just accepting the fact. Just accepting the fact that, hey, like, you know, it's just a probability. I mean, if you take a loss and then you try to avenge that loss, then you're going to take on more losses, and then you're just going to get frustrated. That's the thing. So you can't just take a loss and then try to take another trade. Sorry guys, do you have sound on your side? Oh yes. Maybe because no one was talking.
Yeah, no, it's all a bit quiet. I think,
yeah. I was in EJ shorts, but 30-minute candle closed bullish, so I closed, watching it fall. If 1 hour is bearish, should I wait for a 1 hour highs to be validated before getting out? Before getting out. Yeah, so I mean, it's now coming into this area where 1 hour candles have wicked before. So at this point, I would possibly place my stops at break even depending on where my entry is. Because if it's going to break down, it would just continue moving down, you know, and then you have this area down over here it can potentially come down to. So for people who are looking for buys here, the move down, they would say, oh, it's a stop hunt. But for you, it'll be like, oh, nice bonus pips. Also, there's like a clean candle here, so I mean, if the momentum is down, looking on the 4 hours, seems like it is down. It should theoretically come down to this area here, 120,700. Good thing I ended the day with some profits. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, that's good. Always good, mate. You said you took a. Did you take a sell on GJ as well?
Yeah, I took my last trade was a sell on GJ.
Yeah, nice work.
Wow, look at that pull up on EJ. Damn.
That's mad. That's a good
Gold do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
look at these candles, 10 pip candles.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is a nice strong area at gold at 1486.
Oh, definitely. Look at the 30-minute too. 30-minute finishes bullish. I think we got some juice.
Yeah. We got juice, Bruce.
We'll see.
Oh, USD CAD is coming. Damn. See, so GJ is really great. So now when you look at GJ, pre-New York, it moved bullish. Lots of momentum, kind of ranged, moved down with a lot of momentum. So now if GJ starts to close below 14500, then that would mean there's a possibility for it to break the support and continue down. But then again, it can also start to range between 14700 and 500 because of the Brexit vote later on today. So GJ would be hard. GBP, anything pound would be pretty dangerous as we move closer and closer to the Brexit vote.
This week, this week especially.
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember last time it happened, I mean, price was just moving before the votes because of the rumors.
That's right, yeah.
Because of the rumors, you know?
Yeah.
It's
just the talk. It's just the news, the talk, just people's opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I remember one day it went up like 120 pips. In the next hour, Chris, it corrected the whole move.
Yeah. That's just how the world... It's hard because you don't know how the rest of the world views it. So, from what we see, it might be different to what other people get, you see. So,
yeah.
Obviously, it shows in the markets as well, especially like last week.
Yeah.
Such a big move like that.
I still believe this is a continuation. This is just going to consolidate to move down if it closes, stays below 14500.
I think you're right in that respect, but I mean, at the minute, if I'm looking daily myself and what's going on in the votes.
Yeah.
But Rakeel, you think we're gonna take out this level right here? We're gonna retrace that much and take out this? Look at this big push up, pull back to go higher, if anything.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, this is, if you look at it, I'm still seeing it as a massive bullish continuation, but patient myself. I'm just.
In order for me to take buys, we have to take out this area right here.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, I'm only aiming for 10 pips and stuff, so that's has potential. That idea, to be fair, but I couldn't take any sales currently myself.
Means fire sells. In order for me to take self, we have to take out that area right there. Because like anytime we have a big push, you always have to grab liquidity and continue higher.
Yeah.
Like it's rarely that we break it in one shot.
The only thing I'm looking at it as is that this 14700 was the area where price opened on this week, right? So that's a strong price level then, right? Because after that gap, it opened at 14700, and then that was support respected yesterday, right? And then in pre-New York, price came up to that area. So now if price would have crossed above 14700, that would have meant the daily candle is going to flip bullish, because if you look, that's the point where daily candle should go bullish.
Yeah, makes sense.
It came up there.
Makes sense completely.
Yeah, so it came up there and then it rejected it. It rejected it, and now it's back in this like consolidation area where it was at London Open, like after London Open.
Yeah.
So now it's kind of like now we're back to square one.
I mean, the way you trade it, you'd be aiming for that. I would have said you'd be aiming for that Whitfield to the left. Is that right?
Yeah, this one right here.
I mean, that makes sense in that respect, I think. Yeah. Because you'd have your SL zones and stuff.
Yeah, because I'm looking at these candles and I'm thinking, I'm asking why the fuck did you go up all the way to 14700, tried to break it, and now you're back in this range here again.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm thinking, asking myself, was this a fake out to go down?
Yeah, potentially. I mean, it makes sense the way you look at it for, like, your Whitfield, for example. I mean, obviously everyone's got different opinions and stuff, but I mean, with the news and stuff, you never know, like you said.
Yeah.
I mean, it does make sense.
Yeah, like, I still have my buy stop at 147.50.
Yeah, I've got one above the zone at the top, 200, I think it is.
I'm going to keep that buy stop in case.
Oh yeah, because if it does continue up, it's jackpot day. That's a long way to 43.
Yeah, I got 15 lots running over there. Buy stop 147.
What is the highest lot you've ever opened?
10 by accident.
It was
10.
Yeah, by accident.
Yeah, but what is the usual? 1 or
between 0.75 and 1.
Oof, what was that when you opened 10?
It meant to be 1.
First time I opened 10, I automatically had a hole in my heart.
Yeah, dude.
Oh shit.
Seconds.
Oh shit.
Seconds.
Yeah.
I think 2020, man, I was like, phew.
My head was gone.
Because
take a minute.
Your drawdown starts from $200. You know?
Yeah, man, that's a different type of beast.
Yeah.
I think my biggest one is 0.8.
I've done it before when years ago, I used to play on demo. And then
on a demo I took 100k to 2 million.
Yeah, I've done that.
That's gold.
I don't know. I had a really small account and I was playing with like 0.50 or something, or 1 lot. When I went back to my real account, and it was still on 1 lot or something, and I took it there as well, and I was like, shit. I've had that.
Great.
Is someone watching gold?
Yeah, I'm watching gold.
Yeah. I want to take a quick scalp buys on this retest right here, but probably like for a couple pips. Nothing crazy.
Gold just stuck me out, and now it's going down. God damn it.
Yeah, I had sales earlier at the top, but I'm gonna see if I can scalp it.
Look, and it's the 5 minute.
I don't really trust this candle.
It stuck me out. God damn it.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think this will break.
Most likely gonna retest. I mean, it is filling the wick though, so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like gold these few days. It's just ranging.
Look at that deal.
That may be true, but I mean, you can probably make a bit of, some decent scalping money with that. But I like a direction though, like anybody else.
the last 3 15-minute candles on gold have been like 10 pip movers. Like
up, down, up, down.
Yeah.
Like this one just went bearish, man. It was bullish 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, that week stopped me out.
And I think it could retreat.
Alright, CAD news is coming in.
Oh
Hey,
yeah, news.
listen, if we got cowboys here looking to trade news, I'd say buy stop above the current 30-minute candle
Yeah, for sure.
would be great, and a sell stop I'd say like at 1.30890. Oh shit, it's moving.
USD cat, yeah, it could fly up.
But also understand you can get slipped, so keep that in mind.
Yeah, it could be a push down before a big jump.
Yeah, I'm staying out of CAD.
Yeah.
Let us watch how it
Someone
flies up.
has trades running on USD CAD.
I mean,
right
it's
now.
gonna prime this to fly up, but I think it's gonna go down. Unless they're expecting bad news for Canada. I'm gonna
Expecting good news, so should.
Oh wow.
That's a solid.
Oh, there we go.
Well, there's your buy stop for 5 pips.
Alright.
That's it.
Push down before a continuation.
Oh, it's bad for Canada.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Negative
Oh.
0.2
It could be
versus a balance or 0.0.
Oh, that
So it
means
did worse than previous.
that means that was a good buy stop then.
Yeah, absolutely. Retail sales for Canada.
Negative.
Worse, negative. Yeah. And then watch it come back down again for no reason. That always happens with UCAD.
See GJ? Now look at this GJ. GJ 15-minute did a retest here.
Rakeel, I think it's going to happen exactly what you said earlier. I think it's going to hit the, what was it? The 140.54? Sorry, 504. And
Yeah.
then come right back down.
Yeah, it already did. So I mean, I don't want to take any more trades, but if I would, I'd have my stop above the previous 30-minute high and then expect it to continue bearish.
Would you put like a stop? That's not stop loss. So sell stop rather under the, what is this? I think in between the area that you have between the 140.400 and I think it's 140.357.
3, yeah.
Around.
Yep.
Yeah, like a sell stop. Yeah, and then put your buy stop loss around maybe in that range above.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sell stop at 143.60, let's say.
Yeah, around there. Yeah. Gotta visualize the candles.
It's just a nasty range. Like it's
Nasty.
getting on the bottom and the top on GJ. Like
So bad.
I don't know how you can trade it right now.
No, I would no. Hell no, I wouldn't trade. I'm staying away. I just want to see a clear move to the downside as opposed to
gonna
anything ranging.
drop.
Doesn't make sense to trade anything that's ranging, honestly. Well, obviously.
This was a fake up.
You're going to end up creating a very nice support there.
Yeah, this 15 minutes is going to drop, and the next one's going to drop further.
Let's see some wicks first.
Yeah, see, look, the 15-minute broke the low off the previous one. There you go. Yeah, it's gonna. This was a.
Yeah, exactly how you said it.
This is a fake up.
That was like a retest, trying to do a retest.
Yep, that move up with a retest. USD CAD broke above.
Where would you have sold, Rakeel?
Or just when this candle started, the stop would have been above the previous 30-minute high.
But you're selling it straight into
support.
Big support.
Yes,
That's what I said.
but
why would you do that?
And it rejected it now.
Yeah,
It's
we
a
talked
tight-
about this earlier. This is your
High range.
yeah, but this is
Yeah.
this is the
Yeah, just wait for a close below support.
Yeah.
Even your son agrees.
No, but like when this, because like if it couldn't maintain its move up, there's a higher chance it's gonna break support and continue moving down.
Oh, absolutely, I agree with
That's
that 100%.
that's the, like it's.
The problem is this area here. We have to break that. These are your two areas of contention.
Yeah, from the top.
So this is the trade down to this wick.
If you get to that wick.
Yeah, if it could just retrace and come back up. Yesterday I was trying to sell. Yeah, I was trying to sell a GJ. Just a big fill. It's going down and goes back up. Going down and goes back up. Like no sells.
Like I would be more comfortable putting a buy stop over here now. Like putting a buy stop and then having this area as rejection and then saying, hey, we're gonna continue to back up to that zone and play the range game. Like do this.
Yeah.
That's what I would like better, but it's just for me, this is not enough confirmation because to Rakeel's point, yeah, we could dip all the way down to this level here.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't like that trade either because there's not enough information for me to say that we should dip there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like that down, you were coming back from 700 really.
Yeah. Like I mean, it's just for me, it's hard. I don't really think there's enough information for GJ to break that structure fundamentally to say that there's something going on. I just it may happen. It's tough.
Technically,
Ted, didn't you say earlier before that I think around maybe even before 8:30 or 8 o'clock, you said something about orders being filled. Let me see if I can mark it up here. Being filled here. Wait, no, it's not making me do anything. Okay, right around there, and then at the bottom here, you said that it's gonna not. It has to fill those orders.
Yeah.
You said that earlier before?
Yeah, no, I did, but that's what I mean. It's the problem is I understand. See, what Rakeel's trying to say is Rakeel's saying I'm taking a sell from here and I'm expecting it to go down here, and I'm saying that's hard to predict because we know this is an entire zone. Like this area is an entire zone. If momentum is correct and we're going down, then yes, this is an easy trade because then you can look to the left and say that we're going over here next. The only thing is I don't know if it's an easy trade, right? Like does the analysis make sense for Rakeel? 100%. I agree with the analysis, but the issue is all this here, right? Can the trade work? It could, but do I have 100% certainty? No. So do I take the trade? No. Would Rakeel take the trade? Probably, because he'll put his stop above here and say, hey, my risk to reward basically is going to be all of this, and my risk is basically this. Right, so it makes sense. For me, it just doesn't make sense. I can't pull the trigger on that trade. Even if this drops all the way down here, it's irrelevant to me because of the fact that we have this huge, massive rejection and the bullish body here to go up there. So for me, what I visualize is I take away. This is what I see. I take away all this. I take away all that. And I say, okay, where do all these? Oh, that doesn't help when it's black. Like where?
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Where do all those orders go? Right? Like where are all these orders going that are here right now? They're going up here. Now, is between this range, is that enough for those orders? Is that a big enough push for those orders, or has everyone decided, hey, I see the same thing and now I'm jumping back in, so I'll just keep driving price down to eventually push it through? That's my thought process in this. This is the first guy out. So you have here, this is the first guy out of the gate who's like, yeah, I like the price, and then now everybody else is coming in going, wait a second, I want to be up here, but I don't want to sell. I don't want to buy up there to buy. I want to buy down over here. So I'm going to keep tapping back into this area here. And then once we get deep enough, I'm going to reject and go right back up. That's sort of my theory at that point.
Okay.
This could be a swing entering.
Right.
Technically speaking, based on what I've seen, this should go down. There's a high chance for it to drop because it couldn't maintain its move up.
Because I'm seeing like I was like a close below this support, like a strong close as opposed to maybe like a blip.
Yeah.
And then it continued down. But I understand what Ted is saying, and it's kind of conflicting, so I can understand from both perspectives. which is confusing.
Well, no, it's just because Rakeel will take that idea and he believes in his idea. I just don't believe in it because I see this giant area here. So he will take the trade and I won't. That's all.
Yeah. That's the same. I mean, that's the whole point of trading. Everyone's got an opinion on it.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not that Rakeel's wrong. It's just my risk tolerance doesn't allow me to take that trade because I know GJ when it taps into some zones, sometimes it'll rip right back. And we saw it tap with this candle right here, which was basically a breather for this candle here. So then in Rakeel's case, his theory makes sense because essentially orders have been collected over here to continue to drive down here. So that does make sense.
Yeah, the analysis side is spot on. I completely agree. It's just opinion. That's all. Which in this world we're allowed now.
That's right.
Ooh, that USD CAD would have been a nice buy stop. Never even came down to that area.
There's no wick on it either.
Drop hit.
Hey, anyone came up with the break-even script for MT5 yet?
What?
Not for 5. No.
Yeah, we're working on it. Working on something special.
Break-even script. Or I heard something. What is that?
Yeah, Rakeel, send it over when that guy sends it to you.
Alright.
Isn't MT4 and MT5 written in the same code?
No, I don't think so.
It's different.
No?
MLQ4 versus MLQ5.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice predict.
It was a fake out. I've been telling you for the last hour and a half.
Nice, man. But you didn't take the trade, you didn't, yeah?
No, I took a sell from 140,500 down to 140,400 earlier.
But see, now look at this. This is your key point, is as we come over here, are we going to break that or pull right back? Right? That's sort of the issue. And then how quick is this pullback?
Yeah.
That's my only problem with these kind of trades is because of this candle here. When you look over here, this can drop 100%. I agree. But if it rips back, it could rip all the way back up here within like 1 minute, and then it's like you missed your exit.
Yeah.
That's my only issue with that trade is, momentum, if it is down, correct, because we do agree that, okay, this was just, almost like a fake out to continue to drop. But if this doesn't break, then it pulls all the way back up.
Yeah. GU is a lot cleaner though.
Yeah, GU would probably be cleaner.
For me, this was the target right here when this wick got filled. That's it.
I agree with that. I definitely would have done the same thing too. But according to what Tim was saying, wouldn't you just so say for instance how you're saying how quick you would pull back up? Wouldn't you just put like maybe just lock in your profits and just the way pretty much, or unless you have a different idea.
Oh no! Like I even pointed it out. Like you could have a stop above this candle when it was forming, right? So now you can just have your stop at break even depending on where you entered and just be like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, I mean the trade itself made complete sense.
Yeah.
Oh, of course it makes sense. Like from this.
Yeah, like we said, it's just a difference of opinion though.
Yeah.
It's just fine. Like having the back and forth in terms of like just sharing ideas, so we get a better perspective on other people's perspective. So, yeah.
I don't think it's for the trace.
Oh, there it goes.
It's pretty strong, to be fair. So
all I know is that the highlight is going to be amazing.
Then it's probably going to continue. I take a breather and then continue again.
Well, this is exactly it. So now that if you see that you break below this, now you can say, okay, the next trade I'm looking for is it's going to go here, and then essentially what I'll do is you can take the trade down to here now.
Yeah.
Right, because you got a little bit more confirmation. So now the idea here is, hey, if we can get a retracement up back into this zone, and then basically start taking trades from here, more than likely we should break down. Right, but if you're already in a trade, then you can essentially hold.
Yeah.
How many pips is that?
It's a decent amount. It's 20 pips.
25.
Okay.
23 pips.
Oh, that's good.
Gold is down.
I'm just mad that I need to hold my gold cells today.
Stupid question. Are we still in the London session?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's what it's. Okay. Good. All right.
Ryan.
I'm still trying to wrap my mind around this whole session thing.
Ryan, you almost went on mute from my end.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm muted on your end.
No, it's okay. It was a joke.
Oh, man.
Kaban, you waiting for home sales?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just scout gold for 7 pips on this pullback right here.
Nice.
From the 1 hour coming down to the left, you saw we had a mini support and we had that nice bullish push up. So I figured that if we tap into that support area, we're gonna have a decent pullback. So I just scalped it for like 6-7 pips.
Yeah, the 1484 level was pretty a decent support. I agree. I'm looking at that, the 15-minute bounce right off it.
Dropping. It's dropping.
I hope someone caught that drop.
Yeah, I'm just reading the news because that's got to have some news as well.
Wow, I just came back.
It dumped.
Yeah.
See that level 14700 market open level. It couldn't break above that area. Wish I had held my trade. Damn, would have been a 40.
Oh, Rakeel, did you take your trade?
No, I closed at like.
Now you wish you did.
Yeah. I would never have taken that.
No. Yeah, me too, but
that's a good
The analysis was good. The analysis was spot on. I just couldn't take it.
If somebody was listening to
That's
him,
a crazy thing. Go ahead.
Yeah. If somebody was listening to Raja and took a sell, he would be winning now.
Well, I think somebody.
See, I didn't.
Probably, or somebody on streams just came in and said, "Oh, sell this," and okay, selling GJ. I was doing that when I first started the streams. Like I came in and somebody was speaking about TED, or I mean, every time the TED said buy this or sell this, oh yeah, buy it, yeah. So
see, I never did that because
idiot, yeah.
I never did that because even though I respect Ted's analysis, it's just like, okay, I don't see what he sees at this point in time. So it's like, okay, I'm not because I don't like to just blindly say. Ted says, oh, sell or buy. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, no problem, do that. And then it retreats, and I'm like, okay, what the hell? Ted's wrong. Like, no, I don't like to do that.
You did the right thing, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's all opinion, but
exactly.
You're allowed to do whatever you want. You're trading.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying don't trade it, but I'm just saying, taking an objective approach to it. That's all.
Yeah. It's easy when you're starting out to listen to someone and think, oh, they know what they're doing. I'll just listen. I'll just copy.
Yeah.
I think that's a trap too, because you kind of get lazy after that, right? And that's one thing I was trying to stay away from.
Damn.
Like, I'm not going to just blindly follow somebody and just say, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I mean?
And the thing is, a lot of people don't know Ted risk tolerance, so he could be saying he's going to take a trade and he's aware of the drawdown, but you're not aware of it.
Exactly.
That's the problem. Take that trade that Raja did then. That's exactly where I saw it. That's not for me. And I'm personally I'm bullish on it anyway. So because I was looking at higher time frames. So I'm actually waiting for this to be a good buying area for Thursday. But
you're expecting buys, Chris?
Yeah, at some point. Not right now. I still see it as continuation of myself, looking at it from my perspective. And obviously with the news that's upcoming, likely on Thursday. But we'll see. And you've got to wait. You've got to see the confirmations first. I'm not confident.
Yeah. Right now, we need some support to be made on GJ.
Yeah.
If you look to the left, you can see some minor support around 140 flat.
Yeah.
It could be on standard for a little.
Zones that could be used. But I mean, looking at it on the daily, you can just, there's a few places lower down, like 39.6. Places like that potentially be a bounce area. But
Yeah. Yeah, I missed that move, so I'm not even touching it for now. But I'm waiting for gold though, for home sales.
Yeah. Lovely trade. That, to be fair, that's a cracking trade from where it is to where it is now.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're talking about, bias. Okay. But
Yeah, the reason
overall,
why I didn't
trend
hold
is
the reason why I didn't hold the gold longer because we had that big momentum down. So like, you know what I mean? So we're counter trending. So I didn't want to.
Yeah, gold is at a huge, well, not a huge pullback, but you know, a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, but gold this week, every time you took a trade, you should close whenever you got, I don't know, your target of 10 pips, because every time it pushed anyway, it retraced back up and then continued down.
Well, yesterday we had a big drop from 1493 down to like 1484.
Yeah, but before that it was pushing up and push then back down and push back up, push back down, push back up, and then it dropped.
Right. You saying like going from little ranges, from range to range.
Yeah, it's stopping you out. So if you are greedy, you would burn your account AF, and if you're not, that's practice your discipline and money management.
Yeah, I understand.
They're filming Top Boy somewhere.
Alex, where you disappeared to, man? You was gone for like a whole week.
Yeah, he was gone. Yo, Alex, where did he come from?
He had a big weekend.
I'm always in the shadows, guys. I'm like the shadow.
Shadow. Who's Shadow?
It's a superhero. Yo, am I crazy? But like before, news events used to move hips, bro. Now it's barely a hiccup. Some thing.
Yeah, it depends on the news, though.
Yeah, bro. But damn, the last major.
I've seen home sales. I've seen home sales move a lot, especially in gold.
Like, look at the core CPI today for CAD. I mean, nothing. Like trash.
You don't trade news anyway, so.
What, for CAD? No, it moved. The US dollar jumped.
Yeah, the UCAD moved a little bit, but Jesus, man, I expect bigger moves than what it was.
But I mean, if you don't trade news,
still
then,
moved.
Right? If you don't trade news like that, then
I know I don't trade news, but I trade the exhaustion. Once it hits a zone that it went, then I sell it or buy it. But it hasn't even done shit like that.
oh, I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I missed that GJ. So, good call. And Rakeel got GJ buys probably like around 6 flat, right? 6 in the morning, something like that.
Oh, I think we have some news. What, CGI just dropped like that? Hang on.
Wow.
Possible, yeah.
Yeah, I've got to read. Hang on, I'll just see something.
Officially, Brexit delayed. Full margin sales. How to get rich quick.
Yeah, here's the thing with all the Brexit talk. You have to understand from the bigger game perspective, all the institutions got in at 137, 136, 135. They're not dropping it back down to that level. So just keep that in mind when you're trading GJ, that you might get these pullbacks, but it's not going to be anything that you're going back into 139 or 138 anymore. I can guarantee that. You can just look at market structure. It's not going to pull back the way you think it's going to pull back anymore. Your next liftoff is above 141.550, And at that point, it's game over. It's never coming back down to 138 or 137. The days of 135, 134, they've come and gone. You have to understand from an institutional standpoint, you know, and when you look at exactly what's happened, the market already priced in most of the Brexit move when it was down at 127, 128. That's where all the institution placed their orders. So keep that in mind as you're trading. Think of the bigger picture. Yes, Brexit could be good or bad for the UK pound, but it's not going to drop the way you think it is. Like, there's not going to be a flash crash down to 130 because the Brexit vote doesn't happen. Institutions won't allow it. Just think logically as an opponent. If the bulk of the orders got in under 137, 136, they have to go up still. So yes, we're going to get pullbacks and we're going to get these minor retracements, but it's not going to be the big move. The big move is bullish, and it's going to be like that for the next 2 months. Just keep that in mind. You can see from the 4-hour charts, the hourly charts, the daily charts, there's no pulling back down that's significant. Like, it'll be one candle that'll pull down, and then it'll turn around and go further up at that point. It's never going to be a series of candles that are going to be a massive drop. And you can see, if you look even on the 4-hour charts, and even now on the hourly charts, if Rakeel zoomed out, you can see essentially what's happened here. I mean, from a very, very strategic standpoint, this is basically a zone. It's a huge zone, don't get me wrong, but that's the tendency of GJ. Like, you can even say even down here could be a zone. So just keep that in mind as you're trading GJ. Like, these drops are great because you can get 30, 50 pips, but you can also see, like, as it starts pulling back right away, it pulls back pretty hard, and then, you know, it resumes trend. So just keep that in mind. A lot of the news information is for purchasing better orders to go further up.
Ted, can I use that same mentality for GCAD since it's a pound?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, cool,
Yeah.
thank you.
Well, basically, what happened is Boris Johnson threatened to pull the Brexit deal out today if they don't vote on it.
Oh.
What? Can you repeat, please?
That was it. And I think the EU have granted an extension as well.
The thing about calling higher time frame levels and then saying it's going to go up, it makes sense, but in retrospect you have to know what the small time frames are doing, because just looking at the higher time frame and saying, oh, this is a daily resistance will fall, it doesn't really tell much. Doesn't really tell much at all. So you need to break down what the smaller time frame is saying, what the candles are doing, what the candles mean at zones. You need to know all that information. Because listen, if the higher time frame levels worked, you wouldn't be here on these streams. You would be somewhere chilling, making money.
Hawaii.
You know
Chilling
that.
in Fiji.
you
Bora Bora.
Yeah, you'd probably be in Colombia with Nemo.
Or traveling the world with BDFX.
Yeah.
Or selling some shit like Esther.
Smoking that sativa.
Yeah.
Alex.
Yeah, I'm a more indica guy, but yeah, this is sativa.
That was a wild guess. I didn't even know, bro.
Ooh, EJ's also dropping. I guess the trade of the day was these sells. Gold just finessed so many people.
Yeah.
Up, down, up, down.
Doing what it does best.
Ally.
Whoever bought off that zone rejection.
Yeah, nice.
I bought at the close above 1486. I'm in at 1486.1.
Yeah,
break even.
Kavan bought off that rejection.
Yeah.
So Ted, so my bias for GCAD from this point forward, unless there's major Brexit news, should be bullish, right?
Well, I mean, just look at the weekly and the daily candles.
Yeah.
There's been
There's
no
definitely
bearish movement. One candle, like I always say, one bearish candle is not a change in direction.
Don't count, man.
And if you look at the weekly on GCAD, you can see that the range is 1.7763, and then the other range is like 1.66.8 or 1.66886. So you have support and resistance on the weekly, and we're going back into that range again. So there's no reason why we should dump back down past support. It should now start to trend up back to 1.77.
I would love to see gold breaking above 89 at New York Stock Open. I would love to see that.
And Ted, and that 1.77, that would mean that it would correct that drop. That
Well, of course.
dropped.
Yep.
Ooh. Someone sent a very interesting chart here on gold.
Oh, that's a nice chart. I mean, he picked out the patterns good.
Yeah, so basically you're looking for a break above 1488 to go up to 1492. Uncle Ted Wicks not lie. Now that GJ has gone down, is it a valid buy stop? 140,500, the turning point of 4. Yeah. Like, I mean, you could at 140,500. It could be a nice buy stop because, I mean, that's the area where it rejected and come down before. But for me, trading has ended. I'm mentally getting ready to do some legs today. What's this?
Yeah, please don't make excuses on why you can't post charts or why you don't have time to do this or why you don't have time to do that. Don't, because if you want to trigger me, that's what triggers me. Everyone's so quick to say, we're buying here, selling here. Oh, this went up here. I told you this. If you can type in a chat box, you can figure out how to create a URL, like a tiny URL. You go to tinyurl.com and give a screenshot off your computer or even off your phone. Like it's not hard, and if you can't do that, if your time doesn't allow you to do that, or you don't have the dexterity in your fingers to do that, then don't participate in the chat. Just watch silently and just cheer when your analysis was right and everyone else's analysis was wrong. Just cheer to yourself, because honestly, it doesn't help anyone trying to learn if people randomly say, oh, I told you so, gold was going up. Oh, I told you that was 4-hour rejection. Nobody can visualize that. Think about it this way. That's like me having breakfast right now and me saying, oh, this is the best breakfast in the world. And everyone's like, well, what'd you have? Well, I had breakfast. Didn't you have breakfast? Yeah, but what are you eating? Oh, it's the greatest. I had the greatest breakfast. Well, what did you have? Oh, that's all the conversation is. There's no information. And then if you turn around and say, well, I had bacon and eggs for breakfast. Oh, really? Was it good? Yeah. Well, what did it look like? Well, I don't know how to send you a picture of that. It was just great. Well, how many pieces of bacon did you have? Oh, I had a lot. Like, if you're going to do work and you want to progress, you have to be detailed. You have to be specific. It's only going to help you. It's not going to hurt you to give more information. I rather see someone say, hey, I just took a win, this is how I was able to do the analysis on the win, and this is what I was able to do. Mark out your stop loss, mark out your take profit. Even if the trade has completed, it's just to benefit everybody else. They can say, hey, I was thinking of that same idea too. I liked what that person did. That's great that I had a similar thought and that person took the trade and it was positive. Like, this is what you have to do to learn. I know it's frustrating. I know you think that you're not being heard and everybody's like little birdies. I always think the chat room is like, you know, those little baby birds, and the mother bird comes and drops food in the mouths. I always see chirp, 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 because somebody wants to be acknowledged. Oh, you were amazing. You got the gold 60 pip drop. Oh, you're a great trader. But it doesn't help anybody. And we're here to help everyone. So really just put down the information. Even if you took a trade like an hour ago, post the chart. You know, take your time and say, hey guys, I want to show you what I did. This is what I did. Like, use the time wisely and use it to benefit everybody. Don't use it in a sense that you just want to be a sounding board to be like, hey guys, I took a winning trade again. Because really, to be honest, nobody cares that you won the trade. Everyone cares about how you got to that position to win the trade. That's the more important feature of winning a trade or of losing a trade, is what was the thought process behind the action. Nobody cares that you did the action. Everybody wants to know why you did the action. That's more important. So really keep that in mind when you're in the chat room or you're trying to do something. We don't need to feed the baby birds. Like, I'm great. It's great that you caught like 60 pips. It's great that you saw this pattern here and that's the reason why you did that. Like, nobody cares about that. It's just show the process so everybody can level up. Because here's the thing too. Think about it this way. Even if you post a chart and we go through it rather quickly, someone can come back on the replay and mark down that time that we went through the chart. So like right now it's like 9:05. Someone could watch that at 9:05 later on tonight and go through it a little bit slower and pause the screen and look at your chart and look at what you've done in terms of your analysis. The more detailed you give, the more information you give on your charts, that's going to help everybody, and you will get more notoriety than just saying, hey, I won this trade for 80 pips. I'm the best. Oh, gold's dropping to 1100. Oh, GJ is going to 190. Like, nobody cares. It's show the process so everybody can benefit. That's the whole point of this stream. It's not to be like, I'm the winner. Like, everybody's a winner. Great. You know, your mom probably called you this morning and said you're a winner. Like, it doesn't help everybody. We're trying to build a community where everybody sees processes, everybody starts to understand in their own way, and they start to align their thought processes with people who have similar thoughts or attempt similar trades or mark up their charts similar, so that you can work and grow as a group. That's what we're trying to do here. And I mean, you can complain, you can say that I'm ranting or raving, but it's just going to help you in the future. Because really, if everybody sits here, if Rakeel and I sat here and said, oh, we just won another trade, nobody would be here. Everyone would just be like, well, what's the point? Like, you guys are just having a talk show. Like, you won a trade. How did you win? And that's what the YouTube chat looks like right now. Everyone just screams out, I won the trade. Oh, I lost the trade. Oh, I know GJ was going to 139. Oh, it's going here. Like, it doesn't help anybody. You're just clogging up the chat. Really, technically, the chat should be just filled with URLs or, hey, I just saw that chart that you posted. I have a question on that chart. Like, that's the kind of communications that should be done. If you want, talk to people in DM, message them privately and say, hey, you know, I like the way you look. I hate your comments. Like, do that on the offline. Don't do that in the chat room. You know, and that's basically, it's to help everybody. And, you know, new people come in every day. Yeah. But eventually the new people will subside. There'll be a constant, you know, rhetoric of, hey, if they see 100 people doing the same thing, they'll start doing it. When it's a free-for-all and no one's following the rules, then nobody does anything. But if 90% of the people are following the rules, the other 10% will fall in line, because they'll be like, hey, why is everyone ignoring me? You know, that's basically it. You know, it's just try and help everybody to be successful. That's the idea of what you want to do here.
Yeah, it's like Reddit. Like Reddit. Every time I try to post on Reddit, I can't post because I guess I need karma points first. before posting. I can't even make a single post on Reddit. Wow, gold really played along with a lot of people here today. Down, up, down, back up.
Such a mess.
God damn. Look at that 1 hour candles. Wicks like dicks. I mean, where's it going? Stab down, stab up, stab down again, stab up.
Oh, guess no trade today. I've got one break even on GJ. That's it.
Yeah, I got two buys on GJ. I closed the one like before 7:45 because of that range, and I just got out with like 4 pips profit, and that was it. And now it's just, I mean, technically speaking, I mean, this is a very interesting area right here.
Yeah, I've got it marked up.
It's like if we break that, you could easily come to here. Yeah, you probably, you know, we might actually get to here. I mean, it's a very interesting line.
60-ish.
Yeah. So I mean, you could potentially take sells below that point there, and then your stop loss. The only thing is your stop loss is this, and then you take profit.
Yeah, I'm with you though. I'm looking for buys, so I'm waiting for a buy setup.
Someone sent a chart. Watching for one more upside push into resistance for a possible down on AU. Nice one to watch out for. Perfect. I think, what is this, 4 hour chart? I think what you got to do is you have to look at this area here, because this is your 4 hour support, and then this is your the fuck is my rectangle? And this is your 4 hour resistance right here. So
this support turn resistance.
Yeah, so you might want to do something like this.
Yeah.
So basically, now you're looking for a price to create resistance as it starts to move up.
Simon, do you have took those GJ?
Curving.
A couple tips.
Simon even here?
I thought I heard Simon in the back.
Yeah, he's here. It's probably just away from his desk.
Ted, you said you did GJ?
I had GJ earlier today. I had buys on the upper part of that range, and then after I saw it rejecting that 14700 area, I just closed. Like, it doesn't look good. There's not enough momentum. It's been a relatively slow week this week. Theoretically, with GJ right now, we should return back into this area. Theoretically, if this area breaks, we should return there. The reason being is now when you see the higher time frame, this is a huge zone over here. Actually, let me do this better. This is your zone here, and then this is your zone over here. So that's technically what we should be looking at that point. Do you guys plot support and resistance on a higher time frame first? Well, I mean, the idea, once again, obviously go through some of the videos on the channel, but the idea is you want your charts to tell a story. And what I mean by that is you want your charts to be able to say, you know, where are we starting from? Where are we starting from? Are we starting, you know, what's our initial plan? You know, obviously we want to work off the higher time frames because the higher time frames are easier to spot the movement, right? Like if you turn around and you look at this chart right now, I mean, really, you know, the market's moving this way right now, but you can see from down here, price could be moving up. So you don't really have direction. So then you say to yourself, well, how can I find direction? You have to keep moving up to the higher time frames so that you have an overall bias. At the end of the day, trading is about figuring out the overall bias. And please don't say that you can't figure out the overall bias. If you look at daily candles and there's 6 daily candles going bullish and there's 1 or 2 bearish candles, take the latter and say it's bullish until and then what you do is you would mark out support and resistance where maybe 141 maybe 141 200 or 141 500 on GJ, that would be resistance. So you would say, okay, if we're going bullish, when I see candles change direction to go up, 141 500 is probably my resistance level, and I have to think about what price is going to do at that point. That's the whole point of putting lines on your chart or drawing whatever trend lines or whatever things you're putting on your chart. They're not the holy grail. What they're there for is to alert your eyes to a potential problem with price at that point. That's the reason why you mark up a chart. You mark up a chart to give you areas of interest, right? It's like if you had a map, right? Whatever country you live in, and back, you know, in the early 1990s and early 1980 or the late 1980s, before there were maps and Google Maps, there was an actual book. You opened up the book and there was a map. Like you would unravel the map and it was really big, and you would sit in the car and you would be like, I need to figure out where I'm going, because the map was all of the United States, or the map was all the United Kingdom, and there was all the highways, and you would take a pen and you would mark your map so that you knew you were staying on that road before GPS, before all this electronic stuff came out. That's what you're doing with your charts. You're saying, hey, I believe at this point I'm going to have to make a decision around this price level. So what do I think is going to happen? And using that information, that is how you plot your trades. You say, okay, if I know there's going to be major price confusion at, say, right now at 140.033, I have to understand that maybe there's not a trade here that's worth my risk reward. So then I have to say, okay, what do I need to do to improve my risk to reward, or where do I need to look on the charts to give me that idea? That's the reason why you mark up charts. People mark up charts and arrows and shit like that. It doesn't help you if you don't use what you've marked up to give you that information. And it's the reason why you mark the higher time frames, and then you would work through the lower time frames. And then as you start to work through this, what you would end up doing is you would turn around and say, okay, what do I see to the left that makes sense for this price to continue moving? So as an example, right now, we're looking here, right? So you say, okay, this is going down, right? So we're looking right now, we're going down. Where would price possibly go to, and where would there be a possible concern for price? Maybe over here, maybe over here, maybe over here. So as we're moving down, I have to be aware with this candle that at this point, wherever my stop is, and if I've taken a trade, as we move into these price points, my risk to reward has to be manageable. So there has to be a positive risk to reward here. If there isn't a positive risk to reward, then it doesn't make sense to take the trade, even if I see that the trade is, that there's something we're dropping. Even if this trade goes all the way down, can you guys mute your mics, please? The feedback's rather annoying. That, you know, you turn around and say, okay, if we drop here, then I have to say, okay, what's my risk versus what's my reward? So this would be my reward, and then this would be my risk, right? Now, I don't know if that's going to come true, but what then is the probability of this trade happening? Like, how do we know that this is going to happen? And that's where it comes down to how comfortable you are with the risk to reward, and how many times in the long term that this would be a positive outcome for yourself. And that's just understanding the characteristics of the pair that you're trading, and understanding that, hey, more than likely with this momentum, we're going to drop into these zones at that point. So that's sort of how you would analyze these trades and say, okay, based off the higher time frames, where do I think we're going? And then dropping into the smaller time frames and saying, okay, what makes sense for my trading style? And this is where trading becomes subjective. Some people would take sells right here and say, hey, we're going to here. Other people would be saying, well, you know, I don't really like that because I see that there's rejection here, so we may just reject this area and then continue up afterwards. So it's not a positive trade for me. But other people may say, hey, no, I believe we're going down. And that's the whole idea behind trading. And that's why you never turn around and tell somebody that their idea is wrong. It's just, it's not a comfortable idea for yourself. That's where you have to get used to working through the charts and working with other people. Is, like I said, some people may like this drop. Myself, my bias, I believe we're still going up. So I rather take trades where I see a candle that looks like this. As an example, this candle here, somewhere over here, so that I can say, yes, now we're moving back up to this range here, and I can now take trades moving in the optimal, you know, in my optimal setting, like for my plan. But some people may say, no, we're still dropping 10, and then that's fine. I just won't take a sell. Like I won't go against my idea, but I won't say your idea is wrong. All I say is just be aware that, you know, this area is a rejection, so maybe you have to plan accordingly with that. That's all. And that's what I've always told people is like, yeah, great. If it drops, just like what Rakeel was talking about. Rakeel said it was going to drop. I just said, well, we have to watch where we had that rejection there. And you can see it did fill that full rejection and came down to this level. So maybe this one fills back down to this level, right? So that is the idea. But nobody can turn around and say that it's going to do that 100%. So this is where you have to manage your risk and say, okay, I'm willing to risk 6 or 7 pips to gain 12 or 15 pips. And then you turn around and say, okay, then that's my reward. And if it doesn't work, then I know why it didn't work. That this area here of rejection was too strong, and it was actually a key level. So you know that for next time, essentially.
Yeah, I kind of want to add on to that. Like, no one knew, but at the same time, when you're trading, you're always playing on probabilities.
Right.
Right. If there's like, even I didn't know 100% if it's going to drop or not. But based on what I've seen, I saw that, okay, there's a higher chance it's going to drop rather than heading up. But I didn't take that trade because I wasn't 100% confident.
Yeah, but it makes sense. So that's the opinion, and that's what works. You know?
Yeah.
It's good to get different opinions.
Yeah, like I only took 10 pips from like 497 to like 390 or something like that.
That's the thing. That's your target, though. So I mean, that's what you're happy with. That's what. That's wrong with that.
Yeah, I think the other thing is too, there's too many new people that are trading that think that trading is science, that if this doesn't happen and you're wrong, that means that you're a bad trader. I think that's the stigma associated with trading, that because you had an idea and the idea didn't plan out accordingly, that you're a bad trader. I think what you're going to realize is as you gain more experience, there's going to be instances where, like Raja said, he understood the trade and that's what he wanted to take. And in his mind, this happens more times than not. And using probability to build off that idea will then allow you to say, hey, you know, if I did this trade 10 times over, I would probably be right 8 times. So the 1 or 2 times that I'm wrong, that shouldn't discourage me from using that strategy to be profitable, because Raj has used that strategy on multiple pairs multiple times and has been profitable. The issue becomes, and the variables become, the pair that you're trading, the session that we're in, maybe we're at a different support level, things of that nature. We know GJ moves very, very fast. So sometimes taking 10 pips and getting out is beneficial compared to holding for 30, 40 pips if, you know, the market doesn't allow it at that point. Anton Creel, 90% of people lose 90% of their money in the first 90 days. Yeah, but Anton Creel, I think, teaches a course too, so maybe there's a little bit more of a little bit bias there on why he says what he says, instead of being a little bit more objective. But hey.
This is a good analysis by Alex. Boom. Boom.
Night protection. I can't handle this guy. I'm out.
See you. Bye.
He couldn't handle me. He's out. Okay. I'm sorry.
Soft. He's soft.
I think it's funny. People show up and then they get angry because they don't like what's being said, and then they just leave in frustration. But then they're back the next day. Like, they show up again, and they're like, maybe it's changed. Nope.
Highly emotional traders. That's the only logical explanation for that, honestly. You get mad because they're telling the truth. Come on.
Just snowflake traders, I suppose.
I think the only reason people get mad sometimes or get frustrated is that, I mean, since I took my last trade, which was like, what, almost an hour ago, I haven't even looked at a chart in a way to say this is a trade. Haven't even crossed my mind to look at the chart to say it's a trade or to look for a trade.
Man, Rakeel, you've been trading like a robot lately, man.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Thanks. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I really feel bad that the internet has created such a mess. As much as it's been a positive influence on a lot of things and technology and bringing people, nobody was able to see the downside of the internet and just the trash that's out there. And there's really no way of cleaning it up. And so people's minds, people's attitudes are so warped, because I guarantee you, if everybody was sitting in a room right now, and we've done this because I've done free work in a room with like 6 people, 50 people, nobody turns around and insults anybody. Nobody says anything wrong. People have constructive discussions. People laugh. They have a good time. Like, the interactions are positive because everybody's there for the right reason. But on the internet, it's just like, you can sit here and it's like you have some sort of strength that you can just spout out what you care, what you want, and what you want to say, and just have no remorse. And it's just funny. I don't know how that benefits you as a person, like to hide behind a computer and just type away. Like, it's scary because it tells me a lot about who you are as a person and the demons that you're fighting. And that's scary because you're coming here. I mean, because when you think about it logically, you come here, you want to learn, right? So everybody wants to learn. They come here logically. They follow the rules. They try and benefit and learn from the stream. But then there's people that literally log in and just want to be negative. And it's just like, man, you're telling me you got nothing better to do? Like, there's 10,000 live streams going on YouTube right now. Like, you can bounce around you can go watch some guy playing Fortnite. Like, it's just interesting to me. I mean, it's a good social observation. Maybe I'm too old and maybe I don't understand that rhetoric, but it's just, man, if I had free time, I wouldn't be wasting it on people I didn't like. Yeah, like it's just funny. Like, when I look at stuff like that, I just sort of sit back and just like, man,
I think you're right. I think it's a different age group, to be fair.
Yeah, it is, honestly, and I'm ignorant to that, and I apologize, because I think maybe if I was in my 20s, I would understand what's going through people's minds, but I guess because I'm old, I don't understand it. So maybe I'm the person in the wrong.
It must be you, mate. It must be you, mate. That's
No,
it.
but I'm just saying, maybe it's because I don't understand the social pressure of being in your 20s anymore, and not having money, or not being able to do stuff, and then seeing all these people online making money or having fancy stuff, and then like that frustrates me.
Yeah. I think it's completely different now. Massive. You have to live up to expectations now, just with stuff that's seen on TV.
Yeah.
Ed, I have a question. If you could look up at the GJ at 15-minute candle, and it has all wicked up down, and it closed bullish. So does this mean it's like, I don't know, it's rejecting hard from this zone, and it doesn't allow it to go down?
Well, so then once again, this becomes, what is your comfort level taking buys at this point?
No, I don't want to buy, but I want to, if you can explain me, am I right with this closing, with the big wicks and closing bullish? Every time it goes down, but it closes up and bullish.
I mean, yes, we can agree to that, but you can see right now we're closing in a range, right? If you look at the 15-minute candles on GJ, what direction have we gotten other than we're rejecting down and bullish? So maybe we're doing this right now. We're going sideways, and we're not necessarily going up yet.
Yeah, but I'm trying to look like long term. This means
I know, but you're trying to guess. You see what you're saying? You're trying to push your opinion onto the charts when there's no opinion yet.
Yeah.
Like
it's true.
your idea is right. Your idea is right. Like I see the same thing, and in my experience in charts, when I've seen 15-minute candles look like this, the next 15-minute candle does pop up. Like it doesn't just drop to the ground. But is there enough confirmation to do that consistently? No. But I understand what you're saying. You believe that, hey, this is forming support and we could start the potential move up. And I tend to agree. I don't disagree with that thought, but it's more like, it's like watching a bad accident happen, right? Like, the cars are going to crash and it's going to happen, but on the off chance that maybe they avoid or they don't know how, you just have to sit back and watch. Like if you turned around and said, yes, I agree 100% that GJ is going to go up now, well, what you can do is essentially say, okay, at my stop loss is 139.928, and then from this point I can take a buy at any given point here, and I can ride it all the way back up to 100.640 or whatever, or 140.640. Like you could basically say, this is my zone. I'm willing to accept a risk all the way to this point here. So my stop loss essentially has to be here. So this is basically going to be my stop loss right here at this level. And then my take profit point is going to be probably up over here somewhere, like, to be generous at that point. But you have to accept that at any given time, this could push down into this level deep and then continue further up if this indeed is holding that support. And that's the biggest problem that you will fight in terms of, having this trade go the right way, where maybe what you would do is wait till the next hour and then see that, hey, we're coming back to this level, and then push back up. But I tend to agree with you at that point, because I would be looking at this trade saying, hey, I don't mind taking that risk.
Yeah. A little bit more confirmation.
Thank you.
What's the best way to work on discipline? Take 1 to 2 trades.
Do the same thing every day.
Take 1 to 2 trades a day. Oh, sold at 1213.47. Took a few hours ago. I'm in took a trade by. Oh, I guess you took profits here. Very nice. This music is extreme drawdown music.
Somebody watching Stranger Things.
GJ, nice, that was nice. Looking good. Gotta do legs today. Leg day today.
I think with GJ, you got to use the box indicator.
You know, the way I look at it right now is we're still holding this strong support at 140 flat. We should hold that support and continue with the trend. I mean, I'm expecting, you know, GG is not a straight away setup, so we're gonna probably retest this area a couple times before heading up. See if I can. I think we're gonna move as you said before, but maybe we can violate this because there's many orders. Let's say there's orders of this area, so I'm expecting this price to come down all the way and retest this area at least.
Yeah, you can have a minor stop loss if you want for sales GG.
Yeah, so far 30-minute candle close bullish.
Yeah, but there isn't any confirmation, but yeah.
Not yet, but we're holding that 140 flat. So that's one of the confirmation that I want. I'm not gonna be closing below that. As long the body of the candle doesn't close below the 140, I think it's worth it for the buys.
My charts are loading slowly. Seems like I'm getting hacked. So yeah, it's not loading.
Yeah, maybe.
I hacked you. Did they say you? Yeah, no. It will stop at 40. Yeah, 9:40. It was like 5-minute break. But seriously, I've started programming on Linux now, so I can do stuff. I've been thinking, like, yesterday, all you need to ruin someone's life is a password of the mail. You can do anything, like every fucking thing you wanna do, you can do with the password of the mail. Like you can unlock, reset password, anything. So if you have a password of email, someone's
password of a mail.
Email, yeah. So if you, I don't know, you have account for anything, you apply with your email account. And,
yeah. Okay.
If I don't know, I get your password, I just go, I don't know, on your broker, forgot password, and if it doesn't have any authentication and stuff like that, forgot password, and I don't know, withdraw your amount or something like that. I can change your, I don't know, YouTube settings, or I don't know, anything. All you need is someone else password for this Gmail.
Gold.
Yeah, gold. I was waiting for. I said this. I'm hoping to push.
Yeah, someone's got buy stocks here.
If you remember.
Do you remember what I said early in the morning?
GG.
Yeah, I took some buys at 140 flat, and my stop loss was.
Who drew that candle?
I did, but you know, you trust me sometimes. I did that, but a certain way that GJ moves.
What about magic candles?
You can dance with the devil as long as you know you're dancing with the devil. Now, as long as the candle close above the 140, we're good. I don't worry about the pins to the downside. It's just showing exhaustion.
I don't know, I see gold push up 92. If it breaks this way.
I had a gold buy stop at 1488.87 and I got triggered. Was that
I
too
think.
close? Too
Cross
close?
your fingers. I think so. It's chips.
Maybe you'll go to 1493 and you'll be okay.
Too close to resistance. Because they may pop that area and come back down. We're gonna have home sales in about 20 minutes. And there you go, Gigi. Keep moving, baby.
Right, guys, I'm going to make a move. I'm going to pick up the little. Have a good morning. I'll catch up with you tomorrow.
Alright, see you, Chris.
Yeah, dude.
See you, Chris. Look at gold right now. You see, they just popped that area, the resistance. They're coming back down. Maybe with the home sales news, they're gonna push and break that resistance. They're gonna retest around 1491, something like that. Election in Canada didn't move the market, huh, Ted?
No, it was expected. You know, the thing is, it was a minority government, so they all expected that. The polls were right, everything was right, so it's pretty quiet. Yeah, but it was a pretty shitty election.
I mean, I think that's happening everywhere. think I'm gonna close my GJ buys. That's fair enough because the next
15-minute candle might
Yeah.
pull down. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it actually reached a peak again on the, just
Yeah.
1 minute before.
Yeah. Better safe than sorry. Yeah, 15. Yeah. Because I was expecting this move. I was expecting this move at 9:45. So if they did from 9:30 to 9:45 this move, then the next 15-minute candle should push pull all the way down. Yeah, it's coming down now. Ted, your bias on GJ is still bullish, right?
Yeah. I'm just waiting. I have a buy stop at 141.200. That's what I'm waiting to get activated.
Okay. Yeah, it will. It may come down to 140, 140, 130, maybe. Like that. Almost 140, 100. Let's see.
All right, mates.
Where are you going? You're not leaving yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna head off here. I'm gonna go to the gym. My gold buy stop hit. I think your buy stop was right at resistance. Should have been a little higher.
Yeah. Better place to play the buy stop is gonna be 14, maybe 20 something.
I think it got hit a little too soon. I would get out of the buy stop if that was my buy stop. Oh wow.
Yeah, I closed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's news coming up at 10 as well.
Yeah. Sinan.
Ted is an acquired taste to most people.
Yeah, I think that's funny.
Yeah.
I think people misconstrue my tone as something of negative, but it's more of just I just see the future in a lot of people, and it's scary. Like that's but in honesty, right? Like if I see that you can't even follow a simple direction on YouTube, how are you going to master the charts? Like these, like every little action that you do in your life will also give me insight into how you will do things that are very difficult. So like if you can't get the easy stuff right, I'm saving you from the harder stuff. Like it's and you can't say that that's inaccurate, because you can see people who have bad study habits in school get bad grades. They're disorganized. They don't do well in an educational environment. And then they wonder, well, why am I not doing stuff? It doesn't mean that you're a bad person or you're not smart. It means that you're not meant for that topic. You're not meant to be in the education system. You're meant to do something else. Maybe you're an artist. Maybe you're better at construction. Maybe you're better at visualizing things. So in this instance, in the charts here, when you need analytical, detailed thought processes to be successful and you're not doing that, this isn't for you. Like you can't be general or forget ideas or forget things and then be like, well, I'm going to be master of the charts. Because
100% of the time, this is what I hear from people. Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, I didn't realize that. Oh, I missed that. So when I speak to thousands of people every day and they constantly tell me what they missed or what they didn't do or didn't see, when I see it happens here live in a YouTube stream, it correlates. It's going to be the exact same thing. You're going to come back tomorrow and be like, oh, I took GJ sells. Oh, I didn't see that was support. It was still going down though, right? And that's what I'm trying to avoid for people.
You know, every brain is act different.
Oh, 100%. But this is the thing: is people feel that that because they show up here that they're going to become great traders or that they have to be a trader. And at some point, you have to realize that maybe trading is not for you, and that's okay. Do something related to trading. Build programming. You know, do things related. You know, maybe you open a trade service. Maybe you open up something related to trading. You know, people who aren't good mechanics, they want to be around cars. Maybe they sell parts. Maybe they sell the car. Maybe, you know, they want to be just a service advisor to help you get the car into the garage. Maybe you want to race cars. Like, there's so many different things you can do around cars, and it's the same thing with trading. But people feel that if they're not a trader, then that's it. You know, and that's the sad part. But hey, Raja's got to go to the gym.
And yeah, GJ push is coming. That's right. They gave the test 1:40:13 something.
Is anybody GG buys?
I think Kerwin just closed his buys.
I closed, but I enter again on I enter 1:40:15, and now my stop loss is really close to there. Not a break even, but I'm expecting the news. Maybe the news will push like 10 pips.
Yeah, I think at 10. What if we have a pullback? If this is actually a hard support on the hourly, at 10 o'clock we should have a pullback, and I think that would potentially be a good entry. And then I think we could potentially go from, say, 142.41 all the way back up to 147.11. I think that's where we might get up to.
Yeah, and that's a nice push, you know. Right now it's 140.26, expecting to go 140.36 at least. But right now, I'm gonna put my stop loss at break even, and let's see what happens. The news. Not a break even, but at least 2 pips to cover the charge.
I think you'll get a pullback at 10 o'clock, and then that will determine overall direction at that point.
Yeah. For me, 5 minutes should close bullish, 15 minutes should close bullish, and this 30 minutes close bullish around 140.36.36. And then we're gonna have the pullback. More than likely at 10 a.m. we're gonna have a pullback. Is that politics?
Yeah, that's Boris Johnson. No, that's Trudeau. Sounded like Trudeau.
It's saying all the same stuff like Boris. So.
Yeah.
She is coming for my stop loss. Almost.
think you're good with GJ. I think at anything, it'll probably bounce back down here and then continue up. I think at that point.
Yeah.
But I think for the most part, this looks to be a strong support, unless something magical happens at London close.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the other thing.
He's not able to speak now. The stop loss would be hit.
Most of cooperative ventures. Divided, there is little we can do. For we dare not meet a powerful challenge.
Gold, not gold. Ted, what are your thoughts on gold?
You're in a range. You're in a very bad range.
I know. But your predictions, will it go down or is it bouncing from this hard support to continue?
Well, the thing is, I mean, you have news coming in 5 minutes, so you can't really predict anything.
News?
Until that. Yeah.
What news?
Come on, man. Devor?
Fuck, I have.
How are you going to be on the live stream talking when you don't even know when the news is? Come on.
Yeah, I wasn't here last.
Doesn't make any
half an hour.
sense. Man, it's just embarrassing. Trust me.
Rule number 1: before you start trading, you always look at the news.
Yep.
So disappointing.
See? Now people wonder why I rant all the time. See, it's a perfect example.
It's yellow. It isn't red, so I didn't take a serious notice on that because it's a yellow on Forex exit.
Hey, there's gonna be a car 6 car lengths ahead of you that you watch do something stupid. You always gotta keep out for that car.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you on that one.
Hey, Davor, I was just joking. Don't take it seriously.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
No, but it's just little things like that where I look at that and it's obviously you didn't do it on purpose, but now like it's almost like you get reminded. It's like, oh man, I gotta pay attention to that because see, you asked me a question, which and then you were expecting me to give you a prediction, and the first thing I told you is, well, there's news in 5 minutes.
Yeah, but I'm not thinking about prediction in the next half an hour.
No, but what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is in terms of that, what I want to see is I want to see how this goes, because then that might give me a general idea of, well, the overall economy. It's not a big news event, but if I see positive information about the U.S. dollar, then my bias will technically take the weekly bias, which is bearish, right? So that's what I'm looking at is if because it's also Tuesday today, we also know that the beginning of the week now, like the market sentiment is starting for Monday is usually just a trash day. We know that, and then Tuesday is where the meat of the market starts going into Wednesday and Thursday. So this also helps my breakdown in terms of if we break below 1484, then we're definitely going to 1477. But if we hold, then we're going to 1491.
Yeah.
So that's sort of because I have a range on my chart on the hourly from 1484.29 to 1491.82. That's my range. But the problem is the hourly charts are ranging. So like this whole area here is no good to trade. Like there's no breakout here. Now, if I was a betting man, I would potentially say that these massive rejections are pushing us back to this area of rejection here, but this candle doesn't give me any advice because this could technically be the resistance and now we're dropping down. So you can see where confusion sets in.
Yeah. It's ranging for a weekend and a half almost. It won't go above 1490 and below 1480. Probably some major news or rewards will push it or something like that.
I don't think I have a buzz on my audio jack, and I have a wireless headset, so I don't know if that's affecting anything.
Oh, I think that's why, because from time to time we hear bing.
Yeah, and they're saying it's me.
Blame the black guy. Oh my god. Wow.
Raja, you're a bully, man.
Kidman's never coming back to Miami ever again with us.
Exactly.
It's like these guys is like I drive half an hour for dinner and these guys do this to me. Yeah.
Oh, half an hour? No, an hour and a half.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, an hour and a half.
I honestly thought it was my phone that was doing that. I'm like, what the hell? Like every time Ted talks, I'm like, okay.
Hey, somebody
I'm glad I'm
blamed
not the only
Kaman
one.
like 30 minutes ago.
No, I still blame Kaman still, but it's whatever.
Is it my mic then? I don't think it was.
Yeah, maybe.
It probably is. Ted.
Your last mic didn't do that.
No, this is the same. I've always had the same mic.
I don't know. We're getting feedback from somewhere today.
Yeah, it's just you know what? Maybe somebody's tapping into his mic. Maybe the institutions or something.
Interesting.
Okay, there's the
Alright. Nothing.
candle. I think
the news just dropped.
DJ moved 2 pips, bro.
Let's see what.
No, wait for it. Wait for it.
Yeah.
Sometimes when it hits, or
Oh,
when
it's-
the news drops, it just
Dropping.
stalls and then it just goes in whatever direction.
Yeah, it's lower than the previous one.
Drop top.
It's lower, then
Forex,
gold is
yeah.
going up.
Yeah, let's go, but it's going
Then
down.
gold is going up.
Negative, bad news, gold's going up.
Okay, gold.
EJ. Gonna drop.
But it's going down.
GG and EJ are gonna continue
Okay,
dropping.
never mind.
Continue dropping.
Drop back.
Because this is a retest area here at like 235. There's confirmations on EJ to drop, but there's no confirmations on GJ to drop other than the fact that it's retesting this area. Hey, Gartic? Is Gartic in here? Hello?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Oh, yeah, Gartic. I'm gonna leave here pretty soon.
Okay, cool. I'll be there soon.
Gartic is my gym partner.
Your next partner?
Yeah.
Yeah, gym partner.
My gym partner. Yesterday I told Gartic to spot me and oh, what the fuck?
What did you do? Kill him?
Gartic, should I tell them? Fuck it, I'll tell them. So I
Yeah,
tell
do it.
So I tell him to spot me. I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna do shoulder presses. Just spot me. He's like, all right. So I'm like dying, lifting the weight up. He has his 2 fingers on the dumbbells trying to raise it. I'm like, bro, push. I'm like, yo, just forget it. Yeah, it was too heavy. But now we know. Alright, everybody, take care, have fun.
Easy. Yeah, have a nice day.
Have a beautiful day.
Crush your legs. Crush your legs.
Yeah.
Crush your balls.
I'll break both.